Okay, nerd nugget for this game.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, that's a sad.
Nerd nugget of the week.
That's a sad one.
Oh.
Why was that so sad, Jake?
Well, I'll read it.
Oh, no. Someone died?
Yeah.
That should have been the Aaron Hernandez
Literally,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
Wait, literally someone died?
Yeah.
Okay. On today's part of my take, we've got a twofer for the people. We have head coach Jimbo Fisher, currently not coaching, but we have a great discussion with him about the national championship on Monday night, his time at Texas A&M, his time at Florida State, Jameis Winston. That is the theme of today's show because we also have Cam Jordan from the New Orleans Saints on the show. We also talked to him about Jameis Winston.
Somebody out there has to know Jameis Winston, and if you do, just play him today's episode.
Yeah.
Please.
It's the Jameis episode. So great interview, though, with Cam Jordan. Talked some ball with him. Talked about the Saints playing in a big game this weekend, trying to get in the playoffs, being an older future Hall of Famer in the NFL. We're going to talk about Week 18, everything that's at stake, and we're going to do Fyre Fest of the week at the end. Before we do all of that, Optimum Nutrition. It is a takeover episode. This episode is presented by Optimum Nutrition. Are you ready to unlock more in 24? Adding gold standard 100% whey protein by Optimum Nutrition to your workout gives you 24 grams of high-quality protein to support muscle building and recovery in rich, delicious flavors, an essential piece for building a routine that can help you get more with your workouts. We're all getting in shape this winter. Max and I lifted yesterday. I saw PFT was on the squat rack. Hank, yet to see him, but he tells us six-pack is coming.
It is.
Optimum Nutrition. Feel better in 2024. Let's get in our best shape ever and do it with Optimum Nutrition. Put the world's #1 sports nutrition brand to the test. Available at your favorite stores like Walmart, Amazon, and at OptimumNutrition.com. We did a video for Optimum Nutrition, and I had their pre-made shakes. So good. So good. So if you're looking for some protein shake, something to get you going for this new year, Optimum Nutrition is the best. I've tested it. I love it. Put the world's #1 sports nutrition brand to the test. Available at your favorite stores like Walmart, Amazon, and at OptimumNutrition.com.
All the real gym bros know that the Optimum, the gold standard whey protein, that is literally the gold standard.
The best. It is the gold standard. So go check it out, OptimumNutrition.com. Okay, let's go.
Hey, football guy. Patino. AWL. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take.
Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Friday, January 5th, and we have reached the finale of the NFL regular season, Week 18. It came fast, boys.
You know what? I'm going to say it.
This is not a Rick Pitino joke.
This is the start of the playoffs.
This is the start of the playoffs.
We got playoffs this
Well, there's some teams that have already been playing in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, some teams since like week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got playoff games this weekend.
We got playoff games this weekend. We've got a full Week 18 card, a couple Saturday games, full Sunday slate. I'm just going to say it right now. Enjoy it. Embrace it. The chaos. I know there's some games that don't mean anything, but there's enough games that have enough implications. I'm very excited for this last full Sunday that we will get to spend together watching all the games.
Yes.
Reliving all the chaos. But we did get here, and we got here fast. It goes. The seasons change. What was your favorite moment of the 2022 regular season, 2023 regular season?
Oh, there were so many good moments this year. I really liked the Kadarius Toney storyline.
Yep.
That was good. It was fun following along with that.
I like that one guy's girlfriend. What's her name? Travis Kelce's girlfriend. What's her name?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the gymnast.
I think she's a singer.
Oh, yeah, the singer. The singer, yeah, the gymnast also.
The gymnast who's dating the guy in Green Bay.
Yeah. Did she win anything?
Julie Ertz's husband getting injured. Yeah,
I'd say the #1 story from the 2023 NFL regular season is everyone's favorite quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, except for Lamar.
Except for Lamar, who's won the MVP.
Congratulations, Lamar.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
He has won the MVP. But yes, we have a full Week 18 to get through. So I split it up this week.
You stole my rant pen.
Oh yeah, I was using it for the dozen.
That's not for you.
I had to do some Jeff D'Lo trivia. Okay, so Week 18, we have 4 games that mean absolutely nothing. So I wanted to just say them out loud so people can be like, did you talk about them? Yes. Maybe even put a timestamp. Browns at Bengals, Jets at Patriots, Broncos at Raiders, Chiefs at Chargers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They mean nothing.
Jets and
Disagree.
Patriots mean a lot.
Disagree.
It does mean a lot, actually, that one. Browns at Bengals means nothing. We'll go slowly. Browns at Bengals means nothing.
It means absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing
injuries.
happens.
Let's get no injuries.
The real story behind this is actually my favorite story of the entire NFL season, the comeback of Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Joe Flacco being back to the point where he's being rested as a star in the last game of the season.
Who would have thought?
It's amazing. And I heard our good friend Mark Titus was saying that the debate of Joe Flacco versus DeMar Hamlin for comeback player of the year really comes down to what's more impressive, coming back from the dead or taking the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's a little bit different. I would say that coming back from playing for the New York Jets is more impressive than coming back from the dead.
And then taking the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs.
Yeah, he's basically the next Jesus.
Yeah, it's insane what he's done. And I feel like the nation should be rooting for the Browns.
Agreed.
America's team, the Browns or the Lions?
Are the Michigan. We're already tied up with Michigan being
that's
America's
true.
team. No, the Browns and the Lions, if you're just going off like vibes, off what you would like to see happen.
Yep.
If you're rooting for the underdog, those are your 2 teams that you're rooting for.
They're the 2 teams that if you don't even bet on them, like as a sports fan, I'm just like, yeah, it'd be nice.
Let them have something
Right.
nice. Yeah.
Right. Like no money involved, just like that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so Browns and Bengals means nothing. I'll push the Jets Patriots to mean something. Broncos at Raiders also means nothing as long as we assume that Antonio Pierce has been hired full time.
Again, they should just remove that title, make him head coach for life, or at least just remove the interim tag before the game and get a nice little boost. I also think that the Raiders should remind people on Black Monday, we fired Josh McDaniels this year.
Yes.
You want to get that. You want to rebump the stream when it comes to that.
Yeah, Schefter should retweet himself.
Yes, we remember this guy did get fired this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game really doesn't mean anything except you've got already a lot of the players of the Raiders coming out saying like, keep AP, keep AP, keep AP. It didn't work last time, but I think it's going to work this time.
I also think that the Raiders, I will probably, even though this game means nothing, bet on the Raiders simply in an old algorithm that I have. Team that likes their head coach or interim head coach versus team that hates their head coach.
Do you think they hate
in Week
Sean
18?
Payton?
Yeah, oh yeah. I think there's some guys that don't like him.
They're probably
he threw the whole offense under the bus.
Yeah, probably a couple guys on the team don't like him that much, but also a couple guys on the team probably didn't like Russ Wilson that much.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel like the Broncos are probably going to do a pretty big changeover? Sean Payton's got to get his guys in.
Yes, all his guys.
He's got to get his guys in. So, and then the last game that doesn't mean anything, Chiefs at Chargers, means nothing. Chiefs are going to be resting starters. Chiefs are going to hopefully become the dangerous team that everyone's been waiting for them to become. And the Chargers, they also need to remind everyone they fired Brandon Staley.
Yes, they need to rebump that as well. I feel like the Chiefs are running like 2 separate practices this week. This week's team and then the real team that they're going to be playing with in the playoffs.
Yes.
I did see a story come out the other day, though. Travis Kelce will not be attending the Golden Globe Awards.
Oh.
I think it was the Golden Globes.
Does he got to work?
He has to work because it's on a Sunday.
Oh.
Taylor Swift was going to be there. You have to wonder, trouble in paradise.
Not there to support Boo.
I personally would go to Taylor Swift's awards ceremony.
How many games has Taylor Swift gone to this year? Like 10?
All of them?
Yeah. And he can't go to one little award show?
It seems toxic.
Are the Chiefs a better team if Travis Kelce goes to the award show instead of play?
It might be. Taylor deserves
Start that
better. That's
debate.
all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the games that matter. And we'll go through these games in chronological order. So we're starting with the Steelers and the Ravens on Saturday afternoon. The Steelers need to win and also have a Bills loss or a Jaguars loss to get in. The Ravens have the 1 seed wrapped up. We get to do the rest versus rust debate. It does feel like the Ravens are going to sit some of their key starters, which I think they should do.
Yes.
But I am of the belief that Tyler Huntley and the way this game goes, that the Ravens are very live in this game.
I think they're live in this game because the Ravens are the best team in the NFL at playing games like this.
Yeah.
Like, Harbaugh prepares them to do this in the preseason.
Preseason, yep.
So they don't lose in the preseason. Harbaugh takes it seriously. It doesn't matter if his second stringers are in, third stringers are in. They're trying to win those games. So it feels like the backup players on the Ravens are going to be more ready to go ahead and execute than any other team.
And there's just a simple math. You can't sit everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit everyone. You need to have some guys out there. So you'll sit Lamar Jackson. I would assume, Odell will sit. I'm assuming, Roquan will probably sit. Probably Humphrey.
Likely.
Yeah, there's probably some defensive guys they got to sit just because, the Ravens have had some bad luck from time to time. But as good as the Steelers have been playing with Mason Rudolph, when you're getting 3.5 points in the Steelers versus Ravens, I don't care. Just tell me who has the plus sign next to him.
Throughout the record books.
It doesn't matter.
Together.
I think this also happened the year the Ravens got the 1 seed. They played the Steelers Week 18 with nothing to play for, and I think RG3 beat them.
Yeah, I remember that game.
So like that shows you that I would not think the Ravens are going to be just a pushover on Saturday afternoon.
I don't think they are at all. I don't think any team's really a pushover for the Steelers. They have to kind of fight everything out.
That's true.
Weird ref crew alert. It's
yeah.
It's the same refs as in the Cowboys-Lions game. We thought they'd be done for the season. They're back in maybe one of the most important games.
Why would they put them on this game?
Why would they put them in a standalone game?
It's so stupid.
You gotta bury that ref crew when there's like 6 other games kicking off.
Yeah, there's nothing going on Saturday afternoon. Everyone's going to watch this game.
We're gonna be focused on this, and hopefully nothing weird happens. But it's these guys, so probably will.
These guys.
It's these guys.
All you got to do is say these guys.
These guys are going to be on our TV. T.J. Watt also going for the sack lead in the NFL. He's at 17 right now, which puts him at number 1. This would make him a 3-time NFL sack champion, which I don't think has been done before.
Also, T.J. Watt, we talk about the baby bump. Is there a Jersey Jerry bump?
I think there could be.
Because our guy Jersey Jerry, if you didn't tune in, spent 37 hours trying to hit a hole-in-one. He finally did it on the 37th hour. He was, 2,600 strokes to get a hole-in-one on the simulator. And in classic Jerry fashion, we've had Jerry on the show a couple times. Most of our audience knows him. He used his speech because we're like, we need a speech. There was 100,000 people watching on YouTube, and his speech was basically, I think this has earned me a dinner with TJ Watt. Please go to dinner with me, TJ Watt.
I want to say one thing. TJ Watt, listen, I love you so much, bro. We couldn't make dinner happen last year. My dream is to have dinner with TJ. It could be one-on-one, could be multiple people, I don't care. I just want to have a nice steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, mac and cheese with TJ Watt. So
Yeah. And so Jerry, I think Jerry will show TJ the same respect that TJ showed Jerry by watching the stream.
Yeah.
Jerry will be watching this game.
Yeah, I feel like
Jerry on his
TJ is going to be like, what would Jerry do?
Yeah.
When he's trying to get this sack record.
Yep.
I don't see it any other way.
This is going to be bully mode for TJ Watt.
Yeah.
For sure. So this is actually, I'm looking forward to this game. I always look forward to the Steelers-Ravens game. This time it kind of means something. I want the Steelers to win because I'd like to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I've reached that point. Earlier this year, I was saying if there's one team I do not want to see, not in the terms of like you don't want to run into this team in the playoffs, I did not want to see the Steelers in the playoffs. Now I kind of do.
Now it's the Jaguars. I don't want to see the Jaguars in the playoffs. I want the Steelers to win. I want the Texans Colt winner will get in and the Bills to win, and then you get the Jaguars out of the playoffs.
Yes, that's what I would.
That would be a great setup.
Ideally.
And I'm sorry to Jags fans, but like, it's tough. It's a tough watch.
Yeah,
It's a tough watch.
they know.
Yeah. Okay. Nerd nugget from you, Jake.
The Steelers are 13-3 in regular season finale since 2007 when Mike Tomlin took the reins as head coach of Pittsburgh. There are 13 victories in regular season finales under Tomlin, the most in the NFL since 2007.
Okay.
That is interesting.
But he has already gotten his 9th win.
Yeah, I have my bird nugget of the week. It's
Oh.
actually for this game, for the Ravens.
Let's go.
Did you know that a group of ravens is called a murder?
Oh, I did know that actually.
Yeah, in a tribute to Ray
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes, I did know that.
Also crows. Also, I don't know if this is a good bit or not, but I've maybe my Fyre Fest of the week ahead of time. I downloaded an AI voice and video simulator, and I've just been using it all afternoon doing celebrities, just like typing stuff to keep myself entertained.
Mm-hmm.
We have a special guest, Donald Trump, who has a prediction for this game if you'd like to hear it.
Okay.
Okay, let's just see what Donald Trump has to say.
You know, Lamar is really one of the top guys, very fast with those feet of his. He is also a great supporter of our tremendous movement. I'll never forget when he tweeted, "Trust Trump." But I like Pittsburgh this weekend, guys. I know firsthand how hard it is to stop the steal on January 6th.
Okay, so that's Trump's
That's pretty
prediction.
good.
He's on the Steelers this weekend.
That's pretty
That's
good
scary.
AI. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good AI.
we're fucked. As a society, we're fucked.
Oh, yeah. Although, Jerry just beat the machine.
That's true. Yeah,
Jerry might be the guy we need like at the front of the army. Like,
He's-
I'll take down a machine.
he's John Henry.
Yeah. he's
Someone
got
tried
it.
doing boomers of you guys a few weeks ago. Did
Yeah,
you
it
hear
didn't
that?
sound that close, though. So
but
that
they're
was-
trying.
Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah. Okay. Next game. We have the Texans and the Colts. A playoff game. It is a playoff game. So these teams, whoever wins this game, will be in the playoffs. I will be happy with either result because I think both teams have had great seasons in different ways. The Colts were supposed to do nothing. They get Anthony Richardson hurt. Shane Steichen keeps them alive. They're now playing a home playoff game to get into the playoffs. And then C.J. Stroud has been one of the stories of this year and how incredible he's been as a rookie. So, like, both these teams have their own wrinkles and stories that I'd be like, you know what? That's awesome that they made the playoffs.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Whichever team loses this game, they have nothing to hang their head over.
Nope.
Nothing to hang your head over.
You have something to build on.
You get something to build on big time. If you get into the playoffs, then you have something maybe even a little bit bigger to build on because you've got that 1 year playoff experience.
Yes.
Under the new regime.
Yes.
But yeah, both these teams, congratulations. I think both these teams should be congratulated for their performance in the AFC South this year.
Yes. I lean Texans just because it comes down to who do I trust more, C.J. Stroud or Gardner Minshew? And I'm no offense to Gardner Minshew, but I'm going to say my answer is C.J. Stroud. But I mean, it's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I don't who knows?
I'm going to take the over and hope for the best. That's
Yeah,
the strategy. Because the Colts offense is actually pretty good this year. I think they're top 10.
Well, and Shane Steichen, part of his thing is that he is not afraid to take shots, and especially if they get down a little bit, he's going to push the ball. So yeah, the Colts overs have been good this year.
They've been really good this year.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Shane Steichen. I would like to see him go farther than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, that would be fun. I'm also rooting for Will Anderson to get a couple sacks and become the defensive rookie of the year
Okay.
because he should be.
For any particular reason?
No, I just think Will Anderson's been the defensive rookie of the year. If I had a vote,
Over Kalijah Kancey?
oh fuck, I forgot Kalijah.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. Who do
They
you have?
split. They'll split. Who do you have?
Kalijah.
Okay.
Got a name.
With a
All
C.
right. So we have. So who do you have?
I have Kalijah Kancey as mine.
All right, I have Will Anderson. Jake, who do you have? Will
Well,
Anderson or Kalijah?
Kalijah with a K, Cansey with a C.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Kancey with a
Who
C.
do you have? Will Anderson or Kalijah Kancey?
Will Anderson.
Okay. Memes,
Said
you got to break
Kalijah
the
with-
tie. You got to break the tie, memes.
I'll go Will Anderson.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you
Will
piece of
Anderson has
shit.
won the Pardon My Take Defensive Rookie of the Year. We got everyone's vote.
Damn it.
Nice.
No.
What? What?
Jalen Carter.
Oh, would you celebrate that, Max?
I wouldn't. I would. Celebrate is not the right word. I don't celebrate anything less than Super Bowls.
Oh, really? You wouldn't drink champagne or anything before a Super Bowl?
That's your definition of celebration, not mine. That was just a beverage.
It's just he was just thirsty.
was just
Okay,
average.
Jake, what is your nerd nugget for this game?
Last week, Texans wide receiver Robert Woods became the 12th active player in the NFL to reach 8,000 receiving yards.
Okay.
Okay.
I can read the list.
Chausen,
Or
Bobby Woods.
Bobby
try to
Trees,
guess.
right?
Yeah, but I feel like that's an underrated
Wait,
name.
what was it? What
12th active receiver to reach 8,000 receiving yards.
Okay. Mike Evans,
Yep.
Antonio Brown.
Is he active?
Sorry, not Antonio Brown.
OBJ.
AJ Brown.
Odell is not on there.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown's not on there.
Oh.
Odell's not on there?
Cooper Kupp.
I said first.
Cooper Kupp's not on there.
Okay. This list sucks. This list sucks.
Puka Nakua.
No, he's probably going to get the rookie receiving yard. Let's see.
DJ Moore.
Tyreek Hill is on
definitely
there.
on there.
Yep.
Oh, the old guys. DeAndre and Julio Jones.
Both, yes.
Devontae Adams.
Yes.
This list sucks.
Thielen.
No.
Oh.
Good guess.
Oh,
Terry McLaurin.
wide receivers or tight ends as well?
One more tight end.
Travis Kelce.
2 more tight ends. Yes. One more tight end now.
Mercedes Lewis.
No.
Eric Ebron.
No.
Mo Alley Cox.
One more tight end.
Darren Waller.
No.
George Kittle.
God damn
This
it.
tight end doesn't really play as much of a factor anymore, but he's still active.
Oh,
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that list.
Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Keenan Allen.
You remember Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, really good.
He was really good.
His heyday earlier this year.
Yeah. Until like 6 weeks ago.
Okay. We talked about Browns, Bengals, Vikings, Lions. This game doesn't really mean anything if the Cowboys and Eagles both win as heavy favorites. Lions feel like they're in the 3 seed. Also, the Cowboys and Eagles are playing later, so I guess the Lions have to try to. They don't really. Are they locked in?
I think that they have to try. They would want to try to win.
But they're 3.5-point underdogs at home, so that makes me think they're not going to try to win.
Let me see if they're locked
See
in.
what I'm saying?
Lions playoff.
Well, I guess they wouldn't be if the Cowboys won because it'd be head-to-head, right? Yeah, I think that's.
scenarios.
The Lions aren't dogs.
I thought they were dogs.
Oh, they're going back to Nick.
Oh, they're
Mullins.
favorites. All right, so yeah, all right,
yeah.
so that makes sense. So they are trying to win. Yeah.
See,
I also think Dan Campbell can't. He wouldn't know how to try to lose.
I don't think he could tank. He's incapable of it.
Yeah.
So he's 5-0 against the spread against the Vikings. Something to keep in the back of your head. And I don't think he's going to tank this one.
Nope.
They do. They are playing for the opportunity to maybe jump the Cowboys if the Cowboys lose to the Commanders, which is probably not going to happen.
Lions
don't-
2 seed with a win, Dallas and Philly loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they need both of those.
They need
losses.
both those things to happen. So I don't think that they're going to tank. I think Dan Campbell will give a speech to his guys, and he'll say, "We have not earned the right
Yeah.
to take our foot off the gas."
Yeah, I agree. And
Men.
also, this is a bad taste game. You
Yeah.
gotta get the bad taste out of your mouth.
Yep.
Last Saturday did not go well. The ending sucked. I think the Lions are going to come out and be like, we got to get ourselves ready for the playoffs. We got to put some good tape out there. Maybe if they get like a big lead, they might pull some guys. But yeah, I think they're going to try to win this game. And Kevin O'Connell deserves a lot of credit because he's a very good coach. I will never understand going with Jaren Hall in that game on Sunday night.
No, he's trying to find the hot hand.
Yeah,
That's what he's
yeah.
been trying to do is like he's trying
Just-
to time it out to go like Jaren Hall had a good week of practice, so I think he'll be better on Sunday.
It's
In this case, he's going back to Nick Mullins again. I guess Nick Mullins had a good week of practice.
Well, Nick Mullins is a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
Ish.
You have to see what Jaren Hall has, I guess, at some point. I would have gone with Josh. I would have stuck with Dobbs. Just be like, fuck it. Let's
Dobbs,
go.
just keep going.
Yeah.
All right, nerd nugget for this game.
Lions tight end Sam Laporta is just one of 4 rookies in NFL history to produce this season with at least 80 catches, 800 receiving yards, and 9 receiving touchdowns.
It is pretty crazy that the Lions traded T.J. Hawkinson last year, and then they just got a really good tight end.
They got a younger, better version of him.
T.J.
Yeah.
from the same school.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They just went back.
Okay, Jaguars at Titans. I think this is Titans maybe outright.
So last week, Mike Vrabel had a great quote. I fucking can't stand losing.
No, so the reporter asked, "How do you feel about losing?" And he said, "It fucking sucks."
Yeah, losing fucking sucks.
and then he gave a whole answer, and then he's like, "You got anything else?"
Yeah,
to the
good-
reporter.
it's a
Just
good answer.
belittled him.
It's a good answer from Vrabes. I think that this is the Titans too. I don't believe in the Jaguars.
It's just the Mike Vrabel in a Week 18 where nothing matters for his team against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are battered and beaten and have not looked good. And, yeah, they beat the Panthers and their defense looked good. But just we've seen this. What was Carson Wentz and the Colts? They were – oh, no, that was the reverse. The Jaguars beat the Colts.
Jaguars beat the Colts.
But it just – something weird always happens in the AFC South in
Yeah.
these late season games.
And this is Vrabel's Super Bowl this year.
Also revenge.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
The Titans lost the Jaguars in Week 18 last year to get in the playoffs.
Yep.
So little revenge. That was Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, I
Saturday night game.
I actually do think that Vrabel's going to have the team ready to play. Do we know, is it going to be Will Levis or is it going to be Tannehill?
I don't know.
It doesn't really factor into my equation.
I think it's
because
Tannehill.
My equation is just Mike Vrabel. And it's a one-item equation.
So we get Will Levis. I'm watching right now. He's dancing at practice.
I think it's Will Levis.
Nothing confirmed, but Levis is practicing.
I've got someone, Nick Suss online, got Will Levis feet pics. So it's just a zoomed-in picture of his feet. He's got ankle wraps.
I love that. Nick Suss.
Nick Suss got those Will Levis feet pics.
Great account.
He moved. Wait, here it is. Will Levis moved okay, not as well as last week. Worked third when all three were together, and second when they reduced to only two getting work. So that kind of means it might be Tannehill.
And is Trevor Lawrence playing? He said that his shoulder feels better every day. So that's good, trending in the right direction.
That's officially trending in the right direction. I don't.
Again, it doesn't factor to my equation.
Nope.
My equation is Mike Vrabel plus 0 equals Mike Vrabel.
Right.
And so that's telling me to bet the Titans.
He's going to get the boys fired up.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Okay, nerd nugget for this game.
Jaguars running back Travis Etienne has 11 rushing touchdowns this season, becoming the first Jaguar since 2009 to record at least 10 rushing touchdowns in a season. The last was MJD in 2009. So they haven't had a good running back
Okay.
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
They used to have good ones. So they had Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. MJD. He got fat.
He was always like a little squatty body.
Good NFL Network personality, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he got fat.
Yeah, he got a little chunky. Remember when he knocked out Sean Merriman?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good block.
He was awesome. So much fun to watch.
Short king.
Okay. Jets Patriots. Henry,
Yes,
you want to lose this game.
we do.
I don't think Bill Belichick will lose this game.
Neither do I, but there are reports coming out that there's a lot of turmoil in the coaching staff locker room now that it seems like things might be over. There might be some, airing of grievances, throwing people under the bus.
Ooh, do tell.
I just read a report that someone said the staff was super dysfunctional.
Oh.
Yeah,
An
this is-
anonymous source.
Have we not read Hank this direct report for the last 10 weeks?
He's now believing it.
And Hank's been saying it's fan fiction?
Well, now I'm trying to convince myself that we can lose this game.
Got it. Yeah, that
I-
makes sense. I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, Bill Belichick will not lose to the Jets.
I feel like Bill Belichick, if he does get fired, they need to make that its own day. He can't go out with
He can't go out on Black Monday.
He can't go out on the Black Monday.
Yeah.
We can't scroll Black Monday and be like Dennis Allen fired, Nick Sirianni fired, Bill Belichick fired. He needs his own day.
He should be traded at the Super Bowl.
That'd be funny if they fired Nick Sirianni before the playoff game.
Yeah, that'd be
I
good.
just realized
I
that.
wonder if that's possible.
Yeah.
I have a guest picker here for
Oh, okay.
this game too, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what he has to say. Hang on.
We don't win anymore in Washington, and it's quite sad. We are looking very strongly at bringing in Bill Belichick, a true patriot and great winner. He is a friend of mine, and the New York Jets have been very nasty to him.
So I think he likes Belichick
Where's the
this
pick,
weekend.
Don?
He said that the New York Jets have been very nasty to him.
What was the pick?
You sound like a lib, Hank.
No, you said
You're
you
just-
have a
you're
guest
just-
picker and he didn't make a
You're
pick.
you're nitpicking everything that President Trump says.
He said he had a pick. He didn't have a pick.
Okay. Well, I think he likes the Patriots this weekend.
He did not have a pick.
He did not. But the New York Jets, in fact, have been very nasty to Bill Belichick, and he's been
Yes.
very nasty back.
15 in a row, though. Water always finds its level.
Memes.
Like the Jets, no
Alright.
team is more due than the New York Jets versus the Patriots.
Memes. So you want to win this game?
No,
Really?
no, not
But
at all.
even to get the 15 in a row done?
Yeah, so right now I'm saying no, but if they do win, I'll be like, yeah.
They did it.
And then Patriots will draft a quarterback that plays there for 15 more years and absolutely tortures the fan base.
This actually might be the Izzy game.
What do you mean?
Izzy might get a full workload.
Oh, he might. Yeah, Dalvin Cook's out.
Yeah.
Oh, is he touchdown?
Is he out, or did Dalvin Cook get cut?
Wait, is he out?
It's like cell phone part
Yeah.
two.
Is he in?
Abbott
Is
and
he in?
No,
Costello.
Izzy's in.
Is he in?
Is he in?
Is he in?
Wait, Dalvin Cook's playing or not?
I don't know. Means
Dalvin-
that's what I'm asking you.
Dalvin Cook out.
But is he out?
Is he in? Dalvin Cook out.
I don't
Got
know
it.
if he's in.
Got
That's
it.
what we're asking you.
Got it.
No, he's out.
Is he out?
He's out?
Is he's in?
I don't know
Dalvin's
if he's in.
Dalvin out. Is he in?
This is a great bit.
Okay, so is he in? Dalvin Cook also playing.
No.
Oh,
No.
Dalvin Cook out.
is he in?
Dalvin Cook is being given the
Right.
opportunity to sign with a contender.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why they let him go, was to give him the opportunity to get on a playoff roster.
So he's
Cool.
cut. He's not out. He's cut.
I believe he's cut. Is he released?
Yeah, he's released.
He's
gone.
been released.
Got it.
Okay, so
That
that's
did not
why
work well.
that's why it's the Izzy game. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, Dalvin contender. I don't think so.
You don't think what contender?
Just tell him like the Chargers are still in it.
You know what I would do if I'm the Ravens? I would sign him just in case.
Yeah, that might not be terrible.
Yeah.
Just in case. Just in case. Okay, nerd nugget for this game.
Reminder first for Big Cat to bet Patriots and the under.
Forbid for Big Cat.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Reminder for Big Cat.
Okay.
Maybe I misspoke, but the last
I
time
thought
they
it was
played,
forbid cat. Okay,
the
got
last
it.
time they played, you told me to remind you.
Under in the
Next.
Patriots, yeah.
Yeah.
This
I might
under is
not. The under's gross. I'm not
Gross.
going to bet the under, but I will bet the Patriots.
Patriots running back Ezekiel Elliott enters the final week of the season, second on the team in receptions, only one catch behind leader Demario Douglas.
Oh, that's
so-
a competent offense.
Never a good sign.
Zeke can, if he out catches Douglas, it'll be the second straight season that a running back leads the Patriots in receptions and the 10th time in team history.
Yeah, when your running back leads the team in receptions, that's like if your safety leads the team in tackles. Is there a team out there that has that occurring right now, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. It's just not a good sign.
No, it's not a great sign. Matt Forte, I think, led the Bears in receptions a few years. But yeah.
Unless that person's LaShawn McCoy
Or LaDainian Tomlinson.
or Brian Westbrook.
Yeah. Okay. Next game. Down the list. Falcons at Saints. If the Bucks lose, this becomes the battle for the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fun.
Kind of fun.
I think the Saints.
I love the Saints this weekend.
Yeah, I mean the Falcons can't play on the road.
Personally, that's what I was going to say. The Falcons really can't play on the road at all. Saints,
Arthur Smith, though.
Saints are building
Great
off
coach.
something.
He's a
Really
great
building.
coach.
I think, what are they, 3-1 in their last 4 right now?
Mm-hmm.
So the Saints, in the last quarter of the season, the Saints have been trending towards being not just a playoff team, but a good playoff team.
Probably the
So
1 seed.
They would be. So I'm riding with Carr, man.
Arthur
Get in the
Smith,
car.
division rival, wants to spoil the season for the Saints.
Well, no, he's trying to get in the playoffs.
He's trying to get in the playoffs himself. He's trying to spoil
They're
the season
equal
for the
right
Saints
now.
and get into the playoffs.
If they win this game and the Bucks lose, they win the NFC South. They host a playoff game
That's huge.
And spoil
and spoil.
simultaneously. I personally love the Saints this weekend.
I love the Falcons.
Yeah.
I kind of want the Saints to make the playoffs just because then maybe Jameis would get in.
Yeah. Saints making the playoffs and Derek Carr getting like a high ankle sprain. That would be the ideal situation.
Yeah. And also just so Stephen Shea was like, I would love to laugh in his face if they lost to the Panthers.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. All right, nerd nugget for this game.
Shout out to today's guest, Saints defensive end Cameron Jordan's 116.5 sacks since 2012 leads the NFL over that span. Von Miller and Chandler Jones right behind him with 112 apiece.
Future Hall of Famer.
There you go.
We're going to get to it.
So the behind the scenes dialogue that Hank and I were doing right there is that this game means a lot for who gets the second overall pick. Because if both the Patriots lose and the Commanders lose, this is the most important game. This is like worth 2 games.
If the Saints win, it's good for you.
If the Saints win, then the Commanders would probably get the second overall pick.
Got it.
And if the Falcons win, Patriots.
Yeah.
So it's to see who has to give their entire future assets to me.
Yes.
I love
For
it.
the right to
I
contribute
love
to
it.
Big Cat's
I
wealth.
love it.
But it's also
Loser of
dependent on
this
the
will have to
Cowboys
just hand
losing.
me all the picks.
But Hank, I'll just say that a top 3 pick in this draft is pretty good. There's 3, maybe even 4.
And you can get to 1. It will cost you everything. But you can get to 1. Gimme.
I have no idea who our new GM's going to be, so I don't.
Ooh, this is actually tough for me because I got to figure out who's more likely to suck next year.
Yeah.
Aren't
I
you
guess-
worried
I don't
about? Are you
know.
not worried about Caleb Williams?
You gotta,
I don't know.
You gotta wait for the
I got to
the
see who's
coaching
going to
outcome.
suck more.
Are you not worried about Caleb Williams
What?
becoming Patrick Mahomes 2.0?
Listen, I know you're on your hate me little. You started 2024 just being like, I'm just gonna fucking propaganda, get Big Cat, just fucking stick it to him. No, I'm not worried. I got to figure out who's gonna suck more.
We might be doing the process in DC.
I think it might be Washington, but
Just look at the history.
yeah, but if Belichick's gone, your history's gone.
Yeah, and then we might get your history.
Right. Oh man.
You ever think about that? Belichick breaking the all-time wins record on my sideline.
It will be very dependent on
Yeah.
who you guys coach,
Yeah, Hank.
who you guys hire.
We're going to throw him a parade. We're going to treat him. Bill, we would treat you so good in D.C. You would be a king to us. You could go. You go coach Navy football and lacrosse during the week, Bill. Man, Bill, you would be my main bitch.
Okay, so I think this is what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the Saints to win.
Yeah.
You get the second pick.
Yeah.
PFT.
Yeah, you are.
Hank gets the third pick.
Mm-hmm.
Hank then gives me all the future picks, and then picks number 1. Takes Caleb Williams. You take Drake May, and you have Bill Belichick, and Drake May turns out to be the better of the two.
I like that. That'd be good.
Oh,
And then
oh boy.
and then Big Cat.
They both become Hall of Famers.
And Big Cat gets
that's really hard to
falls
do.
off a
When's the
cliff.
last time the number 1 and number 2 pick became Hall of Famers at quarterback position? Never.
And then Big Cat drops
Probably
back
Drew Luck, RG3.
even further in the draft. And then you get Jaden Daniels. And then
He's the guy.
Then they're both better than
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, who spends all his time taking pictures of his outfits. He's sitting
Yeah.
in skyrise apartments.
Yeah. What do you think about that? And then the Jets get Michael Penix, and he's awesome. too.
Yeah, yeah. I like this.
This is fun.
This is a great future.
What are you looking for, Hank? He's looking for number 1 and number 2. Half the quarterbacks in every first round suck.
They stink.
Yes, 0. The answer is 0.
Never
Yeah,
happened.
it's in 0.
So there's always
just a 50% chance that one of those guys is gonna stink.
there's always a winner and a loser.
Yeah, and sometimes both losers.
And I'll be totally honest.
There could easily be 2 losers.
Given our team's history in terms of drafting long-term solutions at the quarterback position, giving us a high pick does not necessarily mean we're going to take a better player.
Correct. But if the choice is out of your hands,
Mm-hmm.
then at least you can say, well, we had no choice,
Exactly.
which is actually a great choice
It is.
have the choice
To be-
taken
to
from
be
you.
forced,
Yes, exactly. Okay. No, Bucks Panthers. We got sidetracked there. Bucks Panthers. I think the Panthers are live in this game. I like all the shitty teams this week. I just want to say it right now. I'm probably going to be betting the worst teams possible.
Is David Tepper going to be suspended from attending this game? That's what I want to know.
$300,000 is a joke.
It's
He gets that. He makes that in like an hour in interest.
in his like the cushions of his couch
Yeah.
have $300,000.
No, he probably has a ticker in his office that's like, you want to see how much I'm making just with my money sitting in, all these stocks? Look,
Yeah.
$300,000 every second.
The
According
drink that
to-
he threw probably was worth about $300K.
Yeah.
According to Front Office Sports today, it's the equivalent of finding the average American $1.75.
Okay.
That's worth it for a drink throw.
Like a cup of coffee.
Yeah. That's worth it for a drink throw. Cup of coffees.
I've noticed
People are going to get mad at you.
I-
They're gonna say you're out of touch.
it's a gallon of milk. What could it cost? $10?
It's,
Listen,
what,
I'm big-
$1.75 is what?
Big
It's a
Cat.
fucking month's rent.
No, I drink Stella Blue
That's
coffee.
true, that's a fact.
And I get it in the coffee grinds.
Yes.
And so therefore
That's a
you save
fact.
money when you make it.
And
every
we get
day.
it at the office.
And we get it at the office.
At the office.
Yeah.
yes.
So it's $1.75 for a cup
You
of
know
Joe.
that there are people who police us because we got a little change in our pocket. They're like, these guys are so out of touch.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Remember when
I
we
spend-
did the Brock Purdy and we're like, that's not a lot of money. Yes, it is a lot of money, $800,000. We're saying it's not a lot of money to be the leader of the MVP.
and not in the San Francisco area.
Right, right.
Like there are
People
people
are mad.
There are people that make $800,000 in San Francisco that drive Ubers on the weekend.
That's stepping human shit every day.
Yeah.
We've seen the videos on Twitter. Ian Michael Chung or whatever.
I'm just upset that we
That
don't live
one
in
guy
California.
who doesn't live in America, who just bashes America.
Yeah, the guy that
People eat it up.
Yeah, that he lives in like the Philippines.
He just is in my algorithm all the time. It's like, America's dying. It's like, wait, dude, you don't live here.
America's still pretty good.
We fucking rock.
Yeah, we got the NFL, bitch.
Yeah, every Sunday, motherfucker. Okay, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the Panthers.
Oh, yeah,
David
cup of
Tepper.
coffee.
Is
Yeah.
David Tepper suspended for a game? I like the idea of suspending an owner from attending a game. That
Yep.
sounds fun to me.
But that would actually he should have to attend this game.
Watching the Panthers is a punishment in and of itself.
Yeah, his actual punishment should be he has to sit down and watch the entire season back.
Yeah.
That would be
Watch more Panthers.
Yeah, watch more Panthers.
So I actually like the Bucks this weekend. I like them a lot. I don't think that the Panthers don't have anything to play for.
That's why they're dangerous.
At all.
I just love the idea of, because it doesn't feel like every week 18 we have like one or two of these games that are just like, where the fuck did this come from? It's a team that needs to win and a team that doesn't give a fuck. What did Tommy give us that stat on advisors? It's like a team that needs to win versus a team that doesn't have anything to play for. The team that needs to win is like 38% against the spread. So it happens. Might not be this game, but I'm going to say right now I'm going to load up on the worst teams this week.
I think this is going to be a Kalijah Cansey coming out party.
Okay. Maybe get that extra vote, that swing vote.
Yep.
Teams, open your eyes.
Yep.
Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield needs 2 passing touchdowns to join Tom Brady as the only players with 30-plus passing touchdowns in their first season with Tampa Bay, and just the third player to do it overall for the team.
Ooh.
Sneaky good season.
Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield have very similar numbers the last 2 years.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, like last year's Tom Brady versus this year's Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so not like Tom Brady this year combined.
Yeah. Last year's Tom Brady and this year's Baker Mayfield is very similar.
Because I have very similar numbers to this year's Tom Brady.
And they're also very similar teams.
Yeah.
Like scratching and clawing, not good. Oh, maybe they're good. Gonna get a home playoff game, and we're all gonna buy into it. And then, well, who would they play? They'd probably play a really good team that just
they would.
Best wild card team.
They would. And if you look at the NFC, the good wild card teams have way better records than the Bucs would have.
Yeah. So who would they
Baker
play?
would probably be going up against a pretty good defense.
Yep. You'd think so.
Mm-hmm.
Who would they play? Does anyone have the playoff picture of every favorite one? Who would the Bucs play in the first round?
They would play against the Eagles.
Oh.
At home.
And we said they were really good?
It would be heartbreaking for the Eagles to get bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I really need them to win that game.
Same.
We need Max to he needs to get back up.
I know.
On his feet.
We'll get to it.
Okay, we'll get to it. Okay, next game, my Super Bowl. I might actually get a banner made just in case. Bears-Packers. I would like to address one thing. Henry Lockwood's propaganda machine. The clip came out. It was a good clip made by Hank's team. There's one part of the clip though that I have a very big problem with.
Wait, describe the clip for the.
It was the roller coaster of the Bears season. They started and they sucked, and then they got better, and I was like, they're better. And then someone threw in the week 15 where I was like, it's over, and it just all is back to the same spot where the Bears are going to suck all year. Like the Bears are going to suck this year. It's over.
The Justin Fields era?
It's over. He's not the guy. It's bad. Nothing looks good, and every problem that I knew in the back of my head was there has jumped up. You saw week 1, I was very depressed. Week 2, I was angry. Now I'm apathy zone because they are bad. And Matt Eberflus is 100% not the coach and should be fired. He loses every game like this. Matt Eberflus has done an incredible job with his defense. The defense has been incredible. It has. The Bears are back.
I'd say you guys could mathematically make the playoffs.
So
mathematically,
I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I'm totally going to get ahead of myself. The Browns are going to be a very tough game, but if the Bears can somehow win next week, it's over. It's over.
Could get back open.
No, it's over. I'm being honest. I'm being realistic. I don't want to play this game. This was the game they had to win. If they won this game, I would have my hopes all the way up. They did not. It makes me realize getting your hopes up for your sports teams is the dumbest thing you could possibly do as a human being. There's no reason for it. Nothing ever good happens out of it. There's just nothing on the other side. The Bears are building something. I don't care what people say. I know people are going to trash me. The Bears are building something. They're basically identical to what the Lions did last year in the fact that they
That was a funny laugh by Hank. I'm not laughing at your statement.
This is
I'm
the problem is
Hank.
the people like you're idiots. The context on that clip is no one in this room realized they needed to beat the Browns to stay alive in the playoffs. So you guys were all goading me being like, no, they could still make it. And I was like, no, it's over. They needed to beat the Browns, which I was correct about. So I wasn't saying the Bears sucked. I was saying it's over. They're not going to make the playoffs.
You also were battling a lost voice, so it sounded like you were on the verge of tears.
Yes. So that was a fucked up clip. It was your guys' fault for not realizing the playoff picture. I was just speaking facts.
I was trying to believe.
But
Sorry.
that clip actually confirmed what I said. They started, they sucked, they got better. I said they got better. And the people who were like, if you're flip-flopping, that's what fandom is, baby. I'm calling it like I see it.
I wasn't saying that you guys are like totally I'm saying that looking forward to week 18, you have the opportunity to knock the Packers out of the playoffs.
No. In that clip, you were saying you were saying they're still alive. They could play for a playoff spot in Week 18, And I was saying, no, they had to beat the Browns to have that possible.
I also think there were some other things that could have happened along the way to make the Bears still mathematically alive. Because
it would have been a miracle.
Because the Bears weren't eliminated until last weekend.
I understand,
right?
but they needed to beat the Browns.
Yeah.
They needed to beat the Browns to be alive, and everything that I said turned out to be exactly true.
But this
they were like the Rams-Giants game, they were like a field goal away from that being the case.
They needed a tie. Then they would have needed like a tie and all this shit. It
No,
was
they
all
needed,
this weird
they needed
shit.
a tie in Sunday Night Football because the Giants
when
lost.
they lost to the Browns, their playoff chances took a huge dive.
Yes. Correct.
And everyone was like, oh, no, they could still do it.
Well, they could.
I saw
They
the future, and I was like, they have to beat the Browns. I said it all that week. Remember I called it the Gateway game? I said they beat the Browns, then I think they could beat the Falcons and Cardinals, then we're playing for a playoff spot in Week 18. So when we lost to the Browns, and you guys were like, oh, no.
But you still kind of went through the gateway.
You guys, no, because I knew that.
You still believe in the team.
I believe in the team for next year. I hate you so much.
I think that this weekend,
so
if
much.
you beat the
I
Packers,
hate you
you're going to
so
be so
much.
excited about this.
I hate
You're going to
so
bounce them out. This is something that you can build on next
so
year.
much. Also, everyone pointed out that a lot of Lions fans wanted Dan Campbell fired when they were 1-6 last year. And you're like, no, they all galvanized around him the whole season.
At the end of the season.
At the end of the season. We're at the end of the season. I'm galvanizing around the Bears.
And Eberflus?
He's our coach.
I don't think it was the majority of Lions fans that wanted.
There
Dan
were
Campbell
some.
fired.
It 1-6. Remember they lost by
of course,
34-0
people that wanted them to be fired. But I think the overall sentiment was like, this sucks. He needs to figure out a way to turn it around.
It was bad when
But
they were
weren't-
1-6.
But I don't think they were all saying fire this guy.
It was bad when they were 1-6. They lost. What was the score of that Patriots game? That was I think they got shut out.
Right, but at the end of the season, everyone was.
And where are we right now? What am I saying?
You're like, he's our coach. I have nothing.
He's
else
our
to
coach.
say. I have no choice.
What more could you say about your coach than saying he's our coach?
I would die for him.
He's a fact. He's our coach.
I would die.
Does he have your vote of confidence?
Yeah, full vote of confidence. He's
Here
our
we go.
coach.
Important note for this weekend: if you're listening to this, LaFleur, Jaden Reed is from Chicago, so he needs to be a fucking captain.
Yeah.
All right, get your
Otherwise,
shit together. You have no excuse this weekend.
Might lose a coin flip or not defer when you should defer.
Incorrectly defer cost you possession.
I'm very nervous for this game. I'm very excited for this game. Jordan Love has been playing great. There's nothing I can say about that. But playing spoiler would be incredible. It would just be so good. It would be bookends too, because we lost week 1. That was a big game that crushed me. Getting to week 18, all the momentum going in the next year. The fucking losers and slow brains like Hank would finally maybe wake up and be like, oh, maybe the Bears are building something. But he won't. The Bears will have to get to the playoffs next year, which they will, for Hank to fucking realize it.
You call me a low brain?
Yeah, low
You
brain.
mean to say slow?
No, low and slow. You got low and slow. You're low brain and you're slow brain. What you have is you have a low amount of brain, and what you do have is slow.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I've been anti-high since January, so I thought that's what you were trying to say.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
He's also doing dry January.
I was just saying you have low brain cells.
Got it.
A low amount of brain cells, and those that you have, slow.
Are you 1 for 4 in dry January?
2.
2 for 4.
What's today?
It's the 4th.
I'm 2 for 4.
Just to
1.5.
update,
That would put you in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
just to update my New Year's resolution. I'm 3 for 4 on days having a blizzard,
Nice.
and I'm also 3 for 4 on days having diarrhea. Well, studies are out. We'll see if those are correlated. We don't know yet. Yeah, I'm excited for this game. I'm going to get up for this game. We're going to be streaming this game. I really want the Bears to win this game, and I'll be upset because I understand what's at stake. There's a lot of Packers fans that are going to just have a lot of fun at my expense.
Was it Justin
Packers
Fields that kind of poked the bear a little bit? That said in Green Bay they don't really have a lot to do except go to football games.
That's
So
just
I
a
expect
fact.
the crowd to be loud.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. That's not even poking the bear. That's actually respect.
They're going to prove them right.
No, that's respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. And they go to football games, and they're a passionate fan base, and I've been on the brunt end of that passionate fan base many times. Nerd Nugget.
Packers tight ends Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave are the second rookie tight end combo since the 1970 merger to both have at least 25 catches, 300 receiving yards, and at least 1 receiving touchdown. The other, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez.
Wow.
All right. Great players, even better off the field.
Yeah. Okay. So which one of the two do you think is the murderer?
think they're both good guys.
Okay, all right.
Musgrave
Yeah,
sounds like a murderer.
Yeah. All right. We talked Broncos, Raiders, Eagles, Giants. Max, come forward.
This is like a new thing that you guys do where you like say the Eagles game and then you just go silent.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's nice. Just let the
Yeah.
room
Okay,
breathe.
choose your own adventure. Do you want us to goad you into getting really mad, or do you just want to get mad on your own?
It's actually,
I'm not going to get mad.
if we're being honest, the reason why we're doing this is because it's every single episode is like a new way that you're going to step in it. And so we kind of want to like be like, go ahead, Max. How will we start this dance?
I'm not going to step in it today.
Okay. So you have just 30 seconds to talk about your feelings in this game.
I have thoughts.
Okay.
I'm already opening up the door for me to change my mind on this team. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but the AJ Brown talked with the media the other day has opened up my brain to be like, maybe we can come back.
What did he say?
And it may have also opened up my mind towards Nick Sirianni as well.
Oh.
What did he say?
Oh.
He just like talked with the media, went after them for like starting a bad narrative about the team, talked about how the guy, I mean, it was all normal things, but it was the way he said it. He wasn't doing coach talk. He was kind of going after the media and like talking like a normal person. Like, we in here know that we're right there and that like we're good enough. Like, we're not showing up on the field. Some of our coaches are taking a lot of the brunt, but like it's really our fault on the field. He took responsibility in a way that wasn't like he was trained to say that. It was like a normal conversation that has a lot of Philadelphia convinced that the team might be back.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that that's me, but I'm saying that
it's a lot of Philadelphia.
Correct. I'm
Which
not
is
saying
how
that
somebody-
I think that the team is back, but I'm opening up that maybe I could.
That's just how I would describe your brain would be just a lot of Philadelphia floating around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
Too much
and so you got all this Philly
Yes.
floating around, and there's a good part of it. It's like a soup that is yet to really come together. You got all the ingredients for believing in this team, and then with a big weekend, if you come out and you destroy the Giants, then it blends together into like a perfect dish, and you're ready to go for the playoffs.
I still don't think anything this weekend will change my opinion, but like this weekend I'm still pessimistic, but going into next week,
You're going to get optimistic again. Now,
not optimistic, but like not pessimistic.
let me ask you a question, Max, and you have to be honest. So the A.J. Brown, you kind of mumbled whatever. I still don't know what A.J. Brown really said. Do you, PFT?
Well, what he said was something to the media. It didn't sound like he had been trained to say.
He didn't do coach speak, but he then went attacked the media, but it wasn't coach speak. It was good.
It was good, and
Okay.
it sounds like they believe in Sirianni.
Okay, yeah, sure. Which sounds like coach speak.
It's a lot of Philadelphia.
To be like, we believe in our coach.
Yeah.
We trust in our guys.
He was literally speaking about his
it's
coach.
Cliche as
No,
it gets.
but you have to watch it. You have to watch
Okay.
it, and you have to listen, and you would understand.
Okay,
you would
so
understand.
that's not my question though. My question is part of your belief in the Eagles making a run based on a meme stat thing that's been going around the internet?
I would say more so AJ.
Be
Brown.
honest. Be
I would say
honest,
more
be
so
honest.
the AJ Brown clip.
Be honest.
But that meme didn't hurt.
So there's a meme going around that has the 2012 Baltimore Ravens and how they finished the season, which was very similar to how the Eagles have finished the season. The 2012 Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl. The interesting thing about that meme is who is pictured in that meme.
Ray Lewis.
That's the interesting part.
Was he
because
hurt?
Ray Lewis did not play for basically the last 10 weeks, I believe, of the season.
Darius Slay.
And then got his deer antler spray and played in all 4 playoff games, and they won the Super Bowl. That part feels important.
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay, Ray Lewis,
Darius Slay, Ray Lewis.
captain of the
Same
defense, basically mayor of Baltimore, the vibes guy who comes out the tunnel last.
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay. On the other hand, Darius Slay.
Darius Slay still in Patricia's doghouse.
I don't think so.
It just made me
Like they definitely
No,
don't
they
like
don't.
each other.
No, they don't.
It just made me chuckle because I saw that and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then my memory kicked in and I was like, "Wait, yeah, the Ravens got Ray Lewis back."
You know what though? If we're if we're wrong about the Eagles, if the Eagles catch a little fire, in
Oh,
the
this
playoffs,
show's over.
Max is going to
Yeah,
be
the show's over.
insufferable.
If the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, the show's over. We're not doing a Super
No, but
Bowl
I've
show.
already opened myself up for. I'm not going to give you I've opened myself up for you guys to be like, you can't celebrate this because I've already written the team off.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, but thank you. I'll put that in my back pocket.
I've already thought about that. That's
Appreciate
kind of why
that.
I was
Max,
like,
obviously you saying that you kind of believe in this team gives us a spark, and we're like, yeah, he does.
Yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted this spark out of you.
but the spark isn't there yet. The spark. I'm just saying that
You know
there's a
what's crazy, though?
possibility
We
of
need
a
some
spark.
more memes. Get him some more memes.
You know what's crazy
Yeah.
is the Baltimore Ravens did this exact same thing, and then they won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, that's true in
So
2012.
there's probably a lot, and they're a bird team also. A lot of hope.
Similar areas
They're
in the
on
country.
I-95.
Yeah.
This could happen, Big Cat.
Are you getting Ray Lewis back?
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay. Maybe if Darius Slay does deer antler spray, you can get back.
I'm reading the quote here from A.J. Brown. He started off by saying, "Golly, okay, let me get comfortable." That doesn't sound like coach speaking.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're really
That's certified non-coach speak.
speaking from the heart.
Yep.
And then he said he apologized to his teammates because they shouldn't have to answer questions on my behalf. I'm a man. I can speak for myself. He hasn't talked to the media since
No,
Christmas.
but it's the way he said it. It's the way he said it. It's different.
Okay.
All right, get the clip for us. We're going to listen to it. We can keep going. Find the full clip. I would like to judge this clip. Let's go nerd nugget for this game. By the way, I like the Giants in this game.
I don't really have a feeling one way or another.
I'm just going again with my theme of just liking the bad team versus the good team. Well, the bad team versus the less bad team.
I have the quote.
Okay.
Pull it up for us.
We went on our own and, like for the Seattle game, that was on us. Like, we messed that up. We improvised and we went on our own, and Nick came out and said, "Oh, I wanted to try to get a flag or something crazy like that." Like he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, we ride with Nick. We ride with Brian. We just got to come out. We just got to play ball. That's all it is. It's either one person messing up or something like that. And I'm not saying that somebody just trying to mess up, but it happened. We human. You know what I'm saying? So like, but like I said, there's highs and lows, and you see the glimpses. So that's why I'm like, but we right there. We right there. Despite everything, despite everybody saying this or saying that, like we right there. And we know we are. And that's the only thing that matters is we know. We know. You can say whatever you want to say. But when the shit happens, then it's going to be like, oh, what is going on? Oh. What if it don't happen, then we're going to try again. That's just what it is, and that's how you have to approach life.
Okay.
So did you get played by the media then, Max?
Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm a dumb guy.
Fell for the fake
Yeah,
news?
I don't hate that.
If
Yeah,
Sirianni,
I don't hate that quote.
Okay, let's go.
I kind of agree with you. That was a good quote.
if Sirianni actually said that to the media about the end of the Seattle game, just to get heat on himself and to detract from his players or deflect the heat from his players, that's a mark of a great coach right there.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys, it sounds like they're buying in.
Max, you should have a spark. This feels good.
Oh, this is why. Okay.
It took him a second.
okay.
Took him a second. Took him a second. He's not as dumb as he looks.
That's a great quote. That's an awesome.
One of the greatest leadership quotes of it's like that and JFK, like not what your country could do for you.
I was going to say that reminds me a lot of the Tim Tebow speech that he gave.
Yeah.
You will not see a player.
This is the start of the championship DVD.
The
yeah,
caption
Max.
of the video to that tweet is from Philly Laz and says A.J. Brown single-handedly saving the Eagles season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Good job, AJ.
Can you send us that? I want to retweet it.
Golly.
Yeah, that's fucking huge. Huge.
I also like that he calls his coach Nick.
Yeah.
That shows that they're boys.
Yeah. It shows that there's not a lot of respect.
No, I was going to say, like, they're friends.
Yeah.
You always want your coach to be your friend.
Yeah, your best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nerd nugget for this game.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, that's a sad.
Nerd nugget of the week.
That's a sad one.
Oh.
Why was that so sad, Jake?
Well, I'll read it.
Oh, no. Someone died?
Yeah.
That should have been the Aaron Hernandez
Literally,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
Wait, literally someone died?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is from Ruben Frank in a now deleted tweet. Shout out to
Oh,
Bussin'
this
with
is
the
great.
Boys for getting my attention. Jason Kelsey is the 23rd offensive lineman in NFL history to make first team All-Pro at least 5 times and the Pro Bowl at least 7 times. Of the 21 who are eligible for the Hall of Fame, only one has not gotten in. That's Jim Tyrer, who murdered his wife in 1980 and never will.
That was a good nerd nugget of the week.
Merk nugget.
Murder. Oh, it's a murd nugget of the week. Murd.
I think Merk nugget would be good too.
The sad nerd nugget sound.
So wait, but hang on, Jake, because I've listened to Peter King, a respected voice in the NFL community, discuss how he only votes based on your credentials on the field, not off.
Sharper.
So wait, what's this guy's name?
Ruben. Wait, the journalist or the guy who?
The guy that did the
Jim Tyrer.
Chris Benoit.
Murder.
Jim Tyrer.
What murder?
Jim Tyrer.
Jim Tyrer, Peter King. You need to get Jim Tyrer in the Hall of Fame, or else you're just full of shit.
So he murdered one wife.
And he's the only offensive lineman to
Jim Tyrer.
get 5 All-Pros and 7 Pro
What did he
Bowls
ever
and not
do?
be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Murdered his wife.
That is your first ever Murd Nugget of the week.
Murd nugget of the week. That was good, Jake. I like
Thanks.
that. Okay, Seahawks Cardinals. Game doesn't mean a lot because the Seahawks need help. I think they need a decent amount of help, correct? I'm going to look it up right now.
The Cardinals are frisky though.
Cardinals are beyond frisky. They're maybe good. They
Win
could
in
be
a Green
good.
Bay loss.
Win with the Green. Oh, so they don't need any help.
So you could get
That's going to happen.
You could get the Seahawks into the playoffs.
Yeah, this is the exact same situation as last year.
Mhm.
Seahawks weren't. No, Seahawks got. Yeah. Seahawks got in the playoffs
because the Lions didn't.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
That's such a hilarious position. If you're a Seahawks fan, Week 18 of the past 2 years has been just like death for you. You need so much stuff to happen, or really 2 things to happen, but you need to root as hard in one exact other game as you do in your game.
Yes. If you're a Seahawks fan and you win this game and then the Bears win this game, I want to see at least one Seahawks fan get a split Bears-Lions jersey.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Just have it be number 18, week 18, Bears-Lions jersey.
Show some respect.
The NFC North comes to save the day again.
You're standing on shoulders of giants.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals are live. They're frisky. They're playing hard. Jonathan Gannon, not as dumb as we thought with the pew, pew, pew. It really does become like as Nick Sirianni becomes dumber, Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon become smarter in my eyes.
It's very true, yeah.
Because you have to explain why the Eagles were so good last year, and if you think that they're bad because Nick Sirianni this year, ipso facto, the coordinator merchant.
The pew, pew, pew explosives guy is legit. I think I told you that after week 2 this year, Big Cat, right? Remember that?
Yep.
Or was it week 1? Week 1 maybe? The defense plays hard. The offense. Kyler Murray, I'll say this. I've talked a lot of shit about Kyler Murray over the course of this show. He actually doesn't look bad. He looks like a guy that I would try to build around if I was in Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He looks like a franchise quarterback.
Yep.
Okay, Nerd Nugget.
With 1,001 scrimmage yards this season, running back James Conner has joined Otis Anderson as the only players in Cardinals history to have 1,000-plus scrimmage yards in each of their first 3 seasons with the team.
Ooh.
Okay. Did Otis Anderson commit any murders?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. We did Chiefs-Chargers. Rams-49ers. 49ers have the 1 seed all locked up. Probably going to sit some guys. They should sit everyone.
I think the Rams might too.
Yeah, the Rams might too. The Rams could go to the 7th seed because the Packers beat them. So if the Packers win and the Rams lose, I believe they become the 7th seed and then would have to go to Dallas, who also beat them soundly. But yeah, the 49ers should sit everyone. The only thing that can stop the 49ers are injuries in the Baltimore Ravens.
I think it's a vanilla off this weekend because there's a good chance.
Don't show anything?
At least, yeah, both teams. I think this is going to be the most boring game possible.
Yeah.
Because Kyle Shanahan said there's a good chance that we would play this team again in 2 weeks. Meaning, he's looking at the Rams maybe beating
the Lions.
Or something along those lines. So, yeah, it's going to be a vanilla off. And Shanahan does have that great record against the Rams. Was he 9-1?
Yeah.
The one loss being in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, which they covered.
Yeah, wish they covered that one. But, yeah, this is going to be a boring game. Maybe we get Carson Wentz this weekend.
Ooh.
How about that? It's not a true season until we get Carson Wentz depressing another fan base.
That would be fun. Yeah, 49ers sit everyone. Just do it. Rest versus rust.
Yeah. Well, the Rams, I predict,
Because they have a bye.
They'll sit a lot of people.
So that's extra rust.
But they're not going to sit Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got, 29 yards to go until he breaks the rookie reception record?
He's got to do it. And as a fifth-round pick, he's probably got an incentive.
Says 25.
He's probably got an incentive in his contract for $0.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like Sean McVay is going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks. You'd have 2 weeks off.
This is one of those games where you look at the schedule and you see Rams 49ers and you think, oh, this would be a great game if it was played 5 weeks ago.
Yep.
I'd love to see this game in like early December.
Also, we had, remember earlier this year, the Rams field goal to cover the spread.
Yes.
So they might try to cover the spread.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Nerd Nugget of the week.
What does it say about me that I like the Nerd Nugget so much better than the Nerd Nugget?
You like sadness.
I like, the sound that you made was better.
This one might even be Nerd Nugget of the season.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Via Brian Knowles. With Christian McCaffrey resting in Week 18, he will finish the year with 2,023 yards from scrimmage. He is the first player in NFL history to have as many yards as the season.
Oh, as the year?
Yep.
I hate how much you like that.
That sucks.
I hate
That's
how
cool.
much you like
Come
it.
on.
Oh, that's not cool.
Next
Kinda cool.
closest. Gerald Riggs, 1,986 yards in 1985. Earl Campbell had 1,981 yards in 1980.
I had 0 yards in the year 0.
True.
Just
So
a
I
fact.
guess that
Yeah.
washes out this entire.
Like, that's something
Nerd
you
Nugget.
actually are excited about.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. Like, what are the odds?
Well, pretty high because like no one was close. You had to get 19,000,
The exact
1,900
number of
yards,
yards.
and that didn't happen.
And
a
they
lot.
had to have clinched because he can't play this week.
Oh, wait. So the stat is he's the first player to ever sit out the last game of the season.
No.
Okay. So no player has ever gotten the exact number of all-purpose yards as the year.
Correct.
Got it.
Maybe it was just rushing yards. Or no, yards from scrimmage.
No, it's got to be all yards.
Okay.
yards from
Yeah.
scrimmage.
All right.
I'm
happy for
I'm
you.
gonna email the NFL and go through his film tape and be like, you actually gave him an extra yard. Take it away. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna figure out who I can hit up. We got to get
That one's cool. I'm sorry.
Actually, you know what? I like Christian McCaffrey. I'll try to get him an extra yard.
2024.
Yeah, but then if he wins the Super Bowl, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh man, is there a different are there different sites that have different yardage so we can just contest this right now?
But if you want.
It'd be nice if we could contest it. What Okay, we'll I'm gonna work on this.
Maybe he had like a fumble that was actually an incomplete pass.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh, does he have any passing yards? Christian McCaffrey throws pass. Does he have any passing yards?
1459 rushing, 564 receiving.
Puka's is 29 yards.
Okay, thank you for the correction.
PFT,
James.
your team played him last week. You could have held him to a smaller amount.
One less yard.
Yeah, so kind of your fault.
Yeah, it is. Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
He's to blame for everything. Memes,
Eagles played him.
Memes,
Like,
would you like to apologize to me for that fake stat correction you gave me?
I apologize.
Thank you, Memes.
What was the stack?
I was right about Puka Nacua needing 29 yards, not 25.
Fuck, he doesn't have any passing yards this year. God damn it. Okay.
I'm sure Brian Knowles, who's the chief writer for Play Sheet Contributor, looked into this before tweeting it out.
Fuck Brian.
Oh, so it's not like an official recognized stat. It's Brian Knowles' stat.
Yeah, but
How does he not have
covers
any
football.
pass yards this year? God damn it. Negative pass yards I'd even take? Okay, let's keep moving.
You guys are sad when I'm happy.
But wait.
No,
I guess that's part of my take. Max, now I know how you feel.
Wait. Jake, how many yards does he have again?
2023.
What year is it right now?
The season.
What the season is?
We do this with the
2020.
Super Bowl.
Hey Jake, does he have 2023-24 yards?
Oh.
We do this with the
Uh-huh.
Super Bowl, the
Uh-huh.
national
Good one. Thank you,
championship.
It's never happened. It'll never happen.
Okay.
It will never, ever happen.
Do the Nerd Nugget sound
The
in
NFL
reverse.
does not classify it as a 2-year season. Like the
Also,
NBA and NHL do.
how many yards did Chris McCaffrey get in the playoffs last year in 2023?
Oh, good question.
Ah, yes.
Good question.
Season.
Got him.
First player in NFL history to have as many yards as the
in
season.
the year. The
That
year
is
2023,
last season.
he got way more yards than 2023.
I find it interesting that
Last
it's 2024 and you're claiming that's 2023, gaslighting all of us.
Okay.
He tried to make us think New Year's
Yep.
never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Okay, Cowboys and Commanders. Yeah.
That's my summary. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get our ass kicked this weekend. It's going to be nice. You know,
I'm going to bet on the Commanders.
Yeah, we'll probably do something stupid.
Yeah.
We did beat them in the last game of the season last year. That was Sam Howell's first start and crushed the Cowboys. They also sat a couple players, not all of them, but a couple players. I'm looking forward to seeing my team on a football field on a Sunday afternoon, and that's about as far as I'll go for it.
That's nice.
I get 17 of these a year.
Yep.
I want to enjoy it. I want to be like, oh, there's my coach. Oh, there's my quarterback. Oh, there's my punter. Oh, there's my stadium that's falling apart. I want to recognize that. I want to enjoy it. I want to soak it in, and hopefully we'll lose the game, and hopefully the Saints will win, and then we'll get the second overall pick.
Nice.
So that's basically what I'm rooting for this weekend.
I'm going to bet the Commanders hoping that the Cowboys go up and they say, hey, let's not get anyone hurt. Their offensive line's banged up. Did you see who got hurt? Tyler – was it Tyler
Smith? Tyron Smith?
No, Tyler, their other Cowboys. Fuck. He hurt his foot. He tore his plantar fasciitis.
But that's good.
Tyler Smith, yes.
Tyler Smith.
He tore it, though.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Which is good. That's what so all the reports that came out about this were like, great news. He completely tore his plantar fascia.
He's going to play on it in the playoffs, and that makes me want to cry thinking about it.
Because apparently it's way better to tear it than it is to partially tear it.
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know either, but that's what everybody was saying. I think if it's torn, you can play in a torn one.
I did this in high school.
If it's halfway,
all right, go ahead.
Partially torn.
Tell us how High School Max would play in the NFL playoffs.
I was in a boot for like 6 weeks.
Was yours partially torn?
Partially torn.
Exactly.
Oh, so were you told that you should have torn it the whole way?
I don't remember that being.
Even your
that
injuries
being a
are
thing.
sad.
Yeah.
They're like, man, you're such a loser. You should have torn the whole thing.
You had the second best way to injure your plantar fascia.
It hurt. It felt like every time you touched your heel on something, you were like stepping on glass.
Oof, that's not fun. Should have torn the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would have torn it.
Yep.
If I were you, I would have just gone
That's
down there.
so sick
I'd
for you
never
guys.
partially tear my plantar fascia.
Fuck that.
I'd always go full tear.
I would keep running on until that thing snapped.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have like disgusting feet now?
Oh. Puke. Yeah.
I mean, Big Cat tweeted the picture, so.
Yeah.
Jake.
Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb has scored a touchdown in 8 straight games, the longest active streak in the NFL. Lamb is also the first Cowboys receiver to score in 8 consecutive games.
Every time I hear a stat like that about Cowboys receivers, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
They've had some pretty good players.
See, I can come. I loved the Murd Nugget.
Yeah.
That one ruled.
Yeah.
Well, it also was sad.
No,
no, it ruled.
Can you try to find more of those? Oh, breaking moves.
Breaking moves. Breaking moves.
Per Adam Schefter, Dalvin Cook has cleared waivers and is now free to sign with whichever playoff contender he wants, per source. Why are we trying so hard to get Dalvin Cook on a playoff team?
I don't know.
Can somebody explain that to me? What's going on here?
It makes no sense.
I hope he wins the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, I just don't.
Playoff Dalvin.
We watched him. I mean, you watched some memes closely. He doesn't seem to have any burst.
It'd be cool if he was on the Bills.
Oh,
yeah.
They have playoff Lenny, too.
Oh,
that would be very cool.
And the brother.
The brothers is what we're talking about.
We were talking about playoff Dalvin.
No, we were talking about the brothers.
Yeah, but that would be a sick.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
brother
Lenny's
was the
great in the
part.
playoffs.
That would be too many cooks.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Jake.
Playoff Dalvin. I don't know what's going on with how these reports are being framed around Dalvin Cook. I just hope one day I have as good a PR team as
Yes. Sign Dalvin Cook. They just think that they did it in the summer. They can just run the play again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
He's going to take a tour.
Yeah.
You should just show up to different teams and be like, hey, it's me, Dalvin Cook.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Wine and dine me.
Yeah.
Playoff run starts now. Okay. Bills at Dolphins to finish it off. I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be a great game. I'm nervous. I'm not going to bet this game because we put a future on the Bills. They need to win this. They can back in, so we'll know on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because
we'll know what's the game that they need to focus on. Is that the Steelers game?
Steelers and the Jags.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah, either or. So if either of those two teams lose, the Bills will not be playing for their playoff lives. They'll just be playing for the 2 seed. They're going to be motivated no matter what because it would obviously be potentially 2 home playoff games versus being on the road in the wild card weekend. But there would be a little pressure off knowing they could be in the playoffs, even with a loss. But yeah, this will be the Dolphins kind of have to have a get right, and they for the Dolphins to fall all the way to the 6th seed would be catastrophic, considering the fact that the Bills were 6-6, and I think what were the Dolphins? Were they 10 no, they were 9-3 just a month ago.
So where would the Dolphins have to go on the road?
They would have to most likely
Chiefs
go,
are locked into the
Chiefs.
3, I believe.
So they go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Hopefully get like a nice little snow game or like some cold weather to see if the Dolphins can play on the road in that environment.
It would be Tyreek's return because they played in Germany this year.
What a great story.
Tyreek's house is on fire this week.
Yeah,
I did see that.
But everyone's okay.
He does have a lot of baby monitors that are
Yeah.
going at the same time, probably
Yeah.
overloaded the grid.
Well, it was actually a child who started it with a lighter.
That rocks.
Yeah.
That kid's going to be cool.
Just got to tell him to go outside with that.
Yeah, that kid's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All the best people that I hang out with to this day were kids that started fires when they were like 7.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Hank definitely
Fire
started
was
fire
cool
at
when you
some
were a
point.
kid. Be
I've
careful,
never started
kids.
a fire.
Well,
Either.
Hank, really?
that's a lot.
Hank has definitely started a fire. If you were to ask
Not
me,
inside.
is there one person that you know was definitely a kid that leaned way back in his chair in school to the point that he fell over, and also maybe played with fire? Both those answers are going right at Hank Lockwood.
I was a huge leaner, still am.
Yeah,
Fire. I think my parents were good at like proofing the house of like lighters and stuff. They kept it away from me.
that's probably smart.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
I have a stat for everyone, just so that we can do one smart thing on this show from my friends at Sports Info Solution. The Bills defense, they play a lot of middle of the field open coverage, so it's cover 2, cover 4, cover 6, and Tua is the 4th best quarterback in the league against that.
Okay,
So might be Dolphins get back on track, although no Jalen Waddle hurts a lot.
it does.
I feel like that's a big loss on their offense. And like when you just eliminate one super, super fast guy that you have to worry about, it makes it a little bit easier. And then obviously the Dolphins are going to deal without Bradley Chubb as well.
Right, for the rest of the season.
And Mostert and
Yes.
Xavier Howard both didn't practice today.
Yeah.
That's bad. So what are you hoping for just in terms of the setup for this game on Sunday night? How do you want to go into this game? I want to go into it now having it either be win or in or win or out for the Bills.
I don't.
I just in terms of like getting amped up for the game.
I understand that,
Getting the
but
boys
I
jacked.
don't, based on what we put on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I would rather not have a future die on Sunday night.
I would just like to feel alive.
I know. I agree.
game.
I understand. If I eliminated that part, it would be pretty cool.
But you're not thinking about how cool it would be to have it be lose and go home and then you win that game.
True.
That would be awesome.
True.
What a thrill.
Wait, lose and go home, and then you win.
Then you
what?
win. So have the Bills be lose and you go home, but then you actually win that game. Like the scenario going into
Oh,
Sunday
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Picture this, okay? It's
They're back against the wall.
Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and the Bills have to win this game.
Yeah.
And before Chris says a single word on the broadcast, he just laughs. He's
Yeah.
like, ha, ha, this is the kind of football.
Yeah.
That's
no,
what-
I agree with you. That for the television audience, it's absolutely that.
Yeah.
Where the Bills are just, and it does feel like that's where the Bills season has always been, where the volatility is so high for their entire season, where they've looked great and they've looked really, really bad. To have a spot where they could be the 2 seed and also be out of the playoffs is perfect.
It is good. We have another celebrity pick for this game.
Oh, nice.
This last
Hopefully he actually makes a pick this time.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what he does.
Sean McDermott kind of had the right idea. Look, I tried to kill bin Laden for 6 years. It can't be any easier than beating Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Sorry about banning menthol vapes. Coach McDaniels can't be having too much fun. I like the Bills. You know, I ran up trillions of them.
There we go. That's it.
I like that.
So he does like the Bills. Thank you, former President Barack Obama.
He crushed that.
He made a pick.
He made a pick. You got that, Hank?
Made a pick.
Are you going to bet those picks?
I'll bet the Bills. I like the Bills.
You actually like the Bills?
Yeah, I think Bills, Lions, Browns. Like you had Browns and Lions in terms of, non-neutral rooting interest in the playoffs, and I would throw the Bills in there.
Okay.
A Bills playoff run would be fun. Super Bowl run.
We would
As
get
with the
accused of a
Browns
lot of
and
glazing.
Lions.
The glazing
That's
meter
fine.
would be high.
Call me Jay Glazer. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
Oh
Fuck
man,
it.
I don't know, would it?
It'd be-
Like if the Bills won the Super Bowl, we would get accused of a lot of glazing, but we also could be like, fuck everyone who's like, they stink. Why are you glazing a team?
If
that
it's
stinks?
Bills Lions Super Bowl, Grit Week will be justified.
Yes.
Yep.
Start of the championship DVD.
Yeah.
And
Good
we'd also
point.
get wing nuts in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep, very true. And I don't really understand glazing. So I get it, but it means like we're nutting on them. If they're trying to make fun of us, shouldn't it be like we're getting glazed by the Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just
I also just don't, I think this is a very vocal minority, so take it with a grain of salt because I think there's so many people who listen to this podcast that have no problem with how we operate. I always am. It always confuses me because I think one of the cool things about this show is that we are able to become friends with some of these athletes and they like get the show and it's awesome when they have them on. I like protecting those things. Like that's a fun wrinkle to the show that we have some like we're not just a studio show that's like we're just talking about these guys we never meet them. Some of them are our friends. That's fucking cool.
yeah, it is.
Like I think that's a cool thing. If people want us to just not be friends with anyone, and like I guess we could do that. Just say fuck all these guys.
I just I'll be known as a Bills Glazer. Whatever.
I don't know. I don't think they are going to win the Super Bowl,
They could.
but they could.
They could.
That's really what it is. I don't think they will, but they could.
If they win this game. And
if that's glazing, I don't know what. I mean,
I think we're also the first people to say this year that the Bills are just not a good team. When a lot of people were making excuses, being like, "Oh, they're going to figure this out. They're going to figure that out." They have not been a good team for most of the year.
do you know what's actually helped us a little bit? Is that Patrick Mahomes has also been not good this year because a lot of times
true.
it's like, oh, you're glazing Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is way better. They both have been not great at times.
Yeah.
They're actually kind of very similar teams, the Bills and the Chiefs, where I don't think they're very good, but I also think they're super dangerous.
Okay, so what I'm officially rooting for now, I would like to see Kansas City Chiefs travel to Buffalo and have to play a game in Buffalo.
That would be round two.
Which could happen.
Yeah.
In round 2, right?
Yeah. They never play in Buffalo.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be quite a game.
Yeah. Quite a game.
Just putting it out into
'Cause
the
that
universe.
Also could maybe get us to our Joe Flacco going to Baltimore.
Yes. Oh, man. That would be such a great second round. Wow. Dude, the NFL rocks.
It rocks. I've been saying it for the last 3 weeks. I'm so excited for these playoffs. I don't remember being this excited for playoffs. Like these playoffs are chaotic. They're so random. All right, Nerd Nugget.
In 12 career starts against the Dolphins, Bills quarterback Josh Allen has led the Bills to a 10-2 record, 34 passing touchdowns. That's the most of any QB versus a single opponent since the start of 2018. He's also thrown multiple passing touchdowns in all 12 games in his career against the Dolphins, which is the longest streak by a quarterback against a single opponent in NFL history.
Yeah, he owns the Dolphins. It was the Heat was the only thing that beat him.
Mm-hmm. What's
Heat
the weather?
last year.
Can we get a weather update?
69 degrees.
It's not going to be hot.
Is it really?
Yeah. Ashley told us on advisors.
69 degrees
Dude
this weekend.
nutted in his pants. 69 degrees.
Oh, I
Favorite
see
number, favorite position.
potential rain, light rain, but nothing.
Okay, a little drizzle.
now.
That's all kind of cool.
Yeah,
On
but
the
this time of
visors.
year, it's always nice down there.
Little light rain on the visors.
Yeah.
Always look cool.
Although if it's like a light drizzle, doesn't that make the ball wetter than if it's super, super rainy?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works either.
Yeah.
It's just something I've heard.
Okay.
'Cause I'm thinking about Josh Allen going into contact, trying to lateral the ball.
Yeah, slipping.
Worried about that a little bit. Shout out our friend Alec Ingold, by the way, made a Pro Bowl.
Yes.
Fullback for the Dolphins. Good
Yes.
to see that.
Hell yes. Okay, should we do our picks? And you got to update. It's over.
Yes.
Should this just be me and Meme speaking?
That's the only thing at stake here. It's a max and meme
Yeah,
showdown.
I'm fine with that.
Hank
I've already said I'm going to pick every bad team.
lost and I'm 2.5 up on memes with 2 to play.
That's
so
good. I
I'm
like
safe
that.
as
So
well.
just the two of you guys pick.
And it should be worth noting, Max has 18.5 and Memes has 18. So a tie favors Max.
I like the Bears a lot.
I don't like the idea of them tying.
Shut up.
Well, last year, I think there was a tie and we rolled it over to Super Wild Card Weekend.
Okay.
Last year?
No, you're saying you don't like the idea of a tie.
Yeah, I'm just thinking ahead if there's a tie.
Yeah, we would just go to the
Yeah,
next
you
year.
just go next.
Yeah.
If there's a tie between the two of you, you guys
The
both
draft
have.
thing, right?
No, you guys both will have to make 3 picks next week for the Super
Yeah.
Bowl Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
Two-man show?
Two-man
Two-man
show?
show?
No. Okay, so and then also, what's the pancakes update?
So Pancakes is getting really tight in some places. It's
I'm having a historically bad. It's like the same as the Eagles.
Hank 54, Jake 53, Big Cat 44, PFT 43, Max 36, Memes 30.
And just a reminder for everyone, we're going to do this stream probably in the next week or two. It's the pancake challenge of hours and pancakes. So if Memes loses, he would have 24 pancakes or 24 hours. So every pancake he eats is one less hour. Memes said that he'd be out of there in 3 hours.
So we're doing 0 for
so
first.
He says you could eat 21 pancakes in 3 hours?
7 an hour?
There's no way.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay, we will.
0 pancakes for first, 3 pancakes second, and 6 pancakes, 12, 18, and 24.
We're in the great zone.
I like that.
6 or 12, I
Get
have
to enjoy
no problem
a
with.
great meal of pancakes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll hang out for 4
Honestly,
hours.
if I
and
win
eat
this,
2
I'll be
pancakes.
kind of bummed. Because I want to eat some pancakes.
Yeah, first place sucks.
Yeah, first
Well,
place does
maybe
suck.
I can eat for fun.
No. Nope.
Absolutely
you
not.
could not have any pancakes. Damn. Absolutely not.
Damn.
All
right.
All right, so picks.
Did Jake just swear?
Yeah, he did. He said, damn.
Pancakes are good.
Yeah, but you can't do it because
I'm
then
not
it
going
makes
to. I'm gonna follow the
makes
rules.
like the second place.
Of course.
You gotta follow him.
Understood.
I don't know if I'm rooting for 6 or 12 because we're one apart. 12.
I'm rooting for 12. 12
is a little bit of a
12 's a lot.
challenge.
Because I can spend 3 hours and then eat 9 pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a great morning to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I get 6, I might just do 2 pancakes in 4 hours and hang with the boys.
Yeah.
Memes will be here. Memes thinking he can eat 21 pancakes in 3 hours is so wrong.
It's going to take him, my prediction, 12 to 16 hours.
It's crazy how bad I am at these punishments.
What, you're just bad at everything?
Yeah, I mean, I was good at baseball.
Oh, wait.
I thought you were going to say the eating pancakes.
Yeah, that's true. No, but even that I'm not good at. Like,
Yeah,
I was
you
bad
are.
at-
You're really good at eating
Was I good at
pancakes.
eating the hot dogs?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you know why you
gulp
guys
those things
roasted
down.
me because I wasn't good at eating the hot dogs.
Oh, I misremember. Well, why don't you eat some pancakes and hot dogs?
That is another thing. I mean, that is another thing.
That's
So
actually-
many L's that I have, but how about that dub when I just told Pete Weber to fuck off when I bowled the strike to get out of there?
Yeah, I,
I don't
forgot
remember
about
that.
that.
That was a sick
the-
dub.
I don't
We-
remember that at
We have
all.
some more important to talk about. I think we just invented a delicious breakfast meal.
Yeah.
Which is a hot dog
Yeah.
wrapped in a pancake. It's
Yeah.
like the McGriddle of hot dogs.
Yeah. It's
Mi-
delicious.
The McGlizzy.
Oh, there's nothing better than putting a little syrup on your sausage.
I'm going to eat a McGlizzy.
We should add that
On
to
your
the
little
part of my
wiener?
cheesesteak menu.
Yeah.
Fuck. My son and I, when he's changing, he's like, look at my wiener, my little wiener. And then the other day we were cooking, and he's like, look at my hot dog, look at my wiener. And then I was like, do you want a hot dog for dinner? And he's like, my penis. And I was like, oh God, that happened. I don't know why that popped in my head, but yeah, he said that in front of his mom, and she's like, what? I gotta correct that parenting.
No, he's doing great.
Wieners and hot dog. It is funny to call your penis your hot dog, your wiener.
We can take this out if Big Cat wants it out, but when we were coming back from Arizona,
Oh yeah, no, you can keep this.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So we're flying back, and then his daughter goes like, "I have a vagina."
Yeah.
And then his son
Just
goes,
announced it.
His son's like, "And I have a penis."
Yeah, they were just announcing it just for no reason.
I was like, "Yeah, good."
and then
good job,
I think
guys."
they said, I think my daughter was like, and we both have butts.
Yeah, we both have butts. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Fucking nailed it.
We're just fucking doing anatomy for everyone. Okay, picks.
All right, I'm going Lions minus 3.5
Ooh,
Against the
because
Vikings.
it is the earlier game, and the games that mattered to the Lions are after them. So Dan Campbell will get the boys fired up.
okay.
5-0.
Max.
I really need to win this. And my
Why?
favorite
You don't
pick.
think you're good at talking on a mic?
No, my favorite pick of this weekend is going to be Bears +3.
Yeah, let's go.
So-
All right, so you'll be with me.
Yeah. So yeah, I really am.
Let's fucking go.
Max is getting smarter. He's understood how to play this game. I'm proud of you, Max.
Yep. And my total will be.
He doesn't realize though that the chess always works against him.
Yeah, I know.
Because if the Bears lose, I'll be sad, but then I'll be like, "You're the loser."
Max has he's got a good.
I'd be like, you are the biggest loser.
He's memorized the opening game in chess. And
Yeah.
he has no. Once the knights get developed.
He has a sick first move.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, how did I end up with a gun at my head again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what felt. I don't really think I had. Okay, my
Because
total.
the move would have been to take the Packers, then laugh at me when they win.
No, because then when
Yeah.
they lost, it would be like you would just be
You'd be like,
laughing
I don't
in
care.
my face.
I don't care.
No,
Yeah,
no.
but Max, that's like
if the Bears
business
win,
as
you're
usual.
gonna be.
But it's a gamble.
You should try to maximize your
Right.
happiness.
Right. You've basically just put yourself in a bad spot where it's like if the Bears win, you don't get any of the glories. I'm gonna suck all that up.
I don't
And
need
if
the glory. I just don't want to do.
Well, the
thing.
Packers can win by 1 or 2. That's Max's best case scenario.
Yeah, I guess that's what you're rooting for. No, that's exactly
You
what
win
you're
and
rooting
they
for.
catch
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
no,
yes,
that's
yes,
all right. So
that's-
you got one
yes,
play.
yes,
You got one
yes,
play.
yes.
You got one play. Okay.
And then my total is Ravens Steelers under. I think it's 35.
Okay.
35.5.
35 and a
What
half.
was it 17-10 the first time?
I think
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a shit weather game
Yeah, it's
and,
supposed to be a
and
monsoon.
backup quarterbacks.
Okay. Memes.
Damn, I was going to take the opposite, but I'll go over 45, Bears, Packers.
Oh, lot resting on that game. So wait, so who's in the lead right now?
Max is up a half. So if they tie, Max means is doing the.
So if Max wins on Saturday, so the Bears Packers game could mean nothing.
It might, yeah.
Yeah, Max could win Saturday. Memes could lose Sunday afternoon or morning,
Right.
and then Bears Packers would mean nothing.
Yep.
We're hoping for both of them to win, so it means something. Or lose. Be in conjunction. All right.
Or tie. Yeah.
Or tie. All right. Fantasy Fuccbois, and then we'll get to our double interviews. We got Jimbo Fisher and Cam Jordan.
What's up? My name's Ronnie Arrivederci.
Ronnie!
My stardom, Luke Littler,
Luke Littler.
16-year-old dots phenom.
Yeah.
Made it all the way to the finals. Came up a little short, but he's 16 years old. He's the next. He's the next. He's next.
He's the next.
next.
Who's your favorite dartist?
Who's next? Luke Littler. Fuck. What's the ball guy's name? Van Gerwen. Van Gerwen.
Yeah.
Michael Smith.
Oh, Michael Van Gerwen.
Oh, Michael Van Gerwen.
Wow, Hank, you really like dots. You should maybe come to Dots Day next year.
It's Luke Littler season. I was in Chicago last year. My situm, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. Oh, appropriate.
Absolute
Yeah.
fraud, piece
always,
of shit.
Always be sitting.
He couldn't even talk. He couldn't even walk. He divorced his wife. What a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Then he shows up on the logs.
Oh, he's on the
Weirdo.
logs? He's on the logs?
He's on the logs.
On the logs big time.
Doing some weird fucking shit.
He was in a submarine. They built him a submarine and took him down underneath the water.
Oh, fuck.
Said, "You heard you like to get wet." Ha come on, Jake.
Okay.
And my situm is football. Or my
Sleeper.
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 Saturday football.
Football.
Best time of the year.
Yeah.
Saturday playoff games. Games all weekend.
Hey,
Football,
was it
football,
Ronnie?
football.
Ronnie?
Ronnie Arrivederci.
Ronnie Arrivederci. I got some breaking news for you.
Oh.
They play Saturday football all year. It's called college football.
Not the big time. Not the big time.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Hey, what's up? This is Tommy DeVito again. How's it going?
What's up, Tommy?
How's it going? I'm sitting this weekend. That's fine. It's whatever. My stardom this weekend is MLK merchandise. Make sure to do your holiday shopping a couple weeks early. If you have anybody in your close circle of friends or online communities, make sure to purchase your signed bus passes for your loved ones today to make sure they arrive in enough time. If there's anybody out there that you think might enjoy that, now's the time to act on it. I'm sitting my starters.
Yeah.
No calamari, no bruschetta this weekend. Got to rest up for the playoffs. Sit your starters, going healthy. My sleeper is Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is going to be my sleeper. There's no evidence to support he is a pedophile. So for the record, the Fantasy Fuckboys will be the first to say Jimmy Kimmel not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
To our knowledge on this show. You think Aaron Rodgers might be one of the redacted names?
Oh.
'Cause I was thinking about
That's
it.
my sleeper.
Because I thought to myself, this might be a Taylor Swift situation where he signed with New York. So when you Google his Aaron Rodgers Jets, it buries all the results.
Oh, yeah. Frozen Disney.
Just something to think about there. Is
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers a pedophile?
The lady doth protest too much.
We don't know.
All right, my stardom. What's up, guys? It's DJ Pauly D. My stardom is football sandwich. Savor it, love it, make love to it. It's week 18. you got to fucking just embrace every second we got left. My sit-em is Nick Sirianni, that fucking fraud Italian piece of shit. Fire him. I actually wrote this before I heard about A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown did say.
A.J. Brown.
Nick, great guy.
Yeah, so guess what, Nick the Quick, you're back into the stardoms. My sleeper is Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers, I think he was just joking.
Just kidding around.
I think he was just joking.
It was a bit.
So
Guys being dudes.
I do think he was joking. He's got a fucked up sense of humor. He is a jerk. I really, if you watch that clip, I think he was joking.
Well, he's kind of implied that Kimmel runs in those circles.
Right.
And then Kimmel talked about him on his show. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, I'm gonna fire one last shot at him.
I just saw it and I was like, I don't think he's accusing him. I think he's just fucking around.
Well, a lot of people did say that he was on the list.
Oh.
That's the thing.
Okay.
And I think there was somebody on the original logs that got passed around that might have been fake, might have been real, but even if they were real, all you saw was MMEL at the end of somebody's name.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, look, it's Jimmy Kimmel. Just for the record, I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel is on the list.
Yeah. I don't either.
And I will update that if I'm wrong.
And I will no, you know what? I'm gonna deny it.
Jimmy Kimmel likes grown women.
Yes. Facts.
Grown-ass women.
Put it out there. Okay, let's get to our interviews. We got Jimbo Fisher, Cam Jordan, great interviews. Before we do that, PFT, you want to talk about Optimum Nutrition?
Yeah, I love Optimum Nutrition. Love it a lot. I've been using Optimum Nutrition for years. When I was in really good shape, when I was playing rugby back in the day, Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard Whey is the best protein there is. If you've resolved to take your workout game to the next level this year, you can unlock more in 24 with Gold Standard 100% whey protein powder by Optimum Nutrition with 24 grams of protein that supports muscle and workout recovery in more than 20 easy mixing flavors. It's easy to meet your daily protein goals with Gold Standard 100% whey. We're getting back in shape. We're getting back in shape on this podcast. We're using Optimum Nutrition to do it. Build your routine, unlock your potential. Available at stores nationwide. And now here's Jimbo Fisher.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. He is a BCS national champion coach. It is Coach Jimbo Fisher. Coach, we're going to call you Coach, just so you know. All right. We like to do that. We want to talk about everything, but we wanted to have you on to first and foremost talk about these playoffs and the national championship that's coming up. So we'll start there. What is it when you watch those semifinal games, and it could be Michigan or Washington? Yeah. What jumped out to you at what they're doing that has gotten them to this point, playing for a title on Monday night?
You start with Michigan. Michigan's ability to overcome, play hard, and I know their ability on the defensive line to control Alabama's offensive line was a little bit, it's not shocking, but I think it surprised some people. And I think their ability on defense to create the game and dictate the game, I thought Jesse Mentor, it's funny. I knew Jesse when he was a kid. I coached for his dad, Rick, for 1 year as the OC at Cincinnati. Me and Mike Tomlin were on staff there together, and Jesse was a little kid running around there. It's funny how he's grown up and done such a great. They really did a heck of a job on defense. It was amazing. McCarthy made the plays. They were able to be physical, made plays when they had to make it, and they've got that it factor. They're able to make the plays and do the things no matter what. And I think all the controversy has really bonded that group of guys, and they're on a mission. When you watch Washington, same thing. Everybody doubts them. They've been an underdog in everything they do. And I'm going to tell you what, nobody in college football has made more big plays and more big moments than Michael Penix has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Penix is, their receivers are amazing. The offensive line's amazing. But you got to have that quarterback to do the things in the big moments and the big times. And Penix is absolutely amazing right now in the year he's had and the things he's done. And to me, maybe he's been the most consistent and best player in college football. And I don't take that in any disrespect to anybody else. But, man, he just – every time they need something, he makes a play.
Yeah. At the start of the Michigan game, they got off to a really, really slow start when I think McCarthy threw an interception on the first pass of the game. It got overturned and brought back, but they seemed nervous. Both teams seemed nervous jumping into that game. What does it tell you about Michigan that they were able to see that and then put that immediately behind them and then focus on winning?
I think teams, once they settle down and people on a mission, and I always say this, some guys can get caught in the moment and they stay in the moment. Other guys can, all right, that's there. I wash it behind me, and it only matters what happens going forward. And that's a very mature team, a team that's driven, a team that has very good leadership, and from a coaching standpoint and a player standpoint, because that's been, like they said, it's been all your great teams are player-led teams. Everybody says that, that's a player-led team. All your great teams are player-led teams. They take the messaging from the coaching to take it there, and their ability to overcome, adapt, and then to create a last drive and then to dominate the overtime like they did was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was. Two great games. It's great that we have the playoff. Are you a fan of the 12-team playoff that we're gonna have next year? I mean, I
definitely am.
Yeah, more football, more fun.
Well, I think you're going to have how many more? Think about this. Think about November now. All your games come at the end of the day. At the end of November now, there's 6-8 teams that were really involved in a playoff, and that's all you're watching. Now you're going to have 25, 30 teams that are capable of getting in the playoff. And so I think the excitement of college football, because I'm a thing, I hate to say this, the 4-team playoff to me wasn't as good as the BCS. I think the 4-team has been a letdown a little bit, and I say that because of how they set it up with having, you got 5 conference champions, right, only 4 spots. You created controversy off the bat. 12 is going to clean it up a lot better, in my opinion, to be a lot better deal.
I think so. I think as a fan of college football, you want to see an expanded playoff. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be – are we going to see upsets in the first round of a 12-round playoff or 12-team playoff?
I think you will. And I think here's the thing about playoffs. Where we're so different than pro football. And the leagues never interact and never play each other. If it is, it's a one-game deal. So you don't really know the significance of how good Washington is when they play an SEC team or an SEC team that goes and plays a Big Ten. You don't know how they're going to interact because, like in pro football, we get to see that regularly. In college football, you don't get to see that. So I think you're going to see that. And I think what you don't tell the toll on those games and the injuries in those first rounds are going to lead to, I think, different teams in the background, because now you only got to win 1 or 2 games. I mean, play 1 or 2 games. Now the number of games is going to change that too, because I think injuries, and I think the teams that play in the tougher leagues are going to suffer more because you're going to have more. The toll on your body going the whole time is going to have a big impact, in my opinion.
It's been funny to see, the conference pride really comes out, especially in the 4-team playoff. You got fans rooting for their conference almost. What about you? Were you pulling for Alabama, Coach?
Yeah, I was.
Were you really?
I was pulling for Alabama. Not just, I know Nick and I have been together a long time, and I know everybody says we fight and argue and all that good stuff. We did, but we came from the same area and we coached together, and and I want him to win. I did want him to win. And not anything against Jess, but I wanted Michigan to do well. I knew Jesse and them. But I knew Nick and the guys and the local, being in the league.
Yeah. So speaking of Coach Saban, this year was weird for him because it felt like he had a down team, but he then ended up back in the playoff. What is it about his program? You obviously have been around him a long time, coached against him. What is it about Nick Saban that makes it so that, like, a season that you feel like could get away, he's just always got him on track, getting better every week?
Well, I think he's built a culture, and they've had success, and his word means that the players trust his word. But to me, it's a consistent messaging. He never gets too high. He stays, he's a process-oriented guy, and that's what it's about. You've got to be process-oriented to be successful. All the people in the world that are successful that consistently do it are process-oriented, and they stay in that process. And I think that's what it is. And I think, he's driven. I mean, that's him, his competitive nature and what he does. And he was able to message those guys. But they bought in. And where they really got better during the season, Milroe got better and the offensive line got better. And I think that's the thing that let them down in the end is, the offensive line, Michigan's defensive line got after him a little bit. But I think they're improving on their offensive line. And matter of fact, the quarterback grew up in the second half of our game. We were ahead at halftime, and we held him to negative yards rushing. They had 20 yards rushing as a team. And he come out and threw for a bunch of yards. So, his development and what he did, but I think consistent messaging is what's allowed him to be successful.
Yeah.
So who do you have in the championship game this year? You're going to give another piece of bulletin board material to one of these teams.
Man, I tell you what, I want to study it a little more. It's 6-1 way half done. I know Michigan's a favorite by 4.5. I think their defensive line, what they've been as a team. McCarthy's underrated athletically. He moves around, makes more plays than people give him credit for. But I'm going to tell you, I go back to that other thing. When you got a quarterback that makes every play, it's going to be an interesting – the offensive line at Washington, which is really good, the receivers at Washington, which are really good, and the quarterback going against that defense is going to be one heck of a matchup. And can Michigan establish long drives? They're running the football and controlling that, keeping him off the field. It's really an interesting dynamic of how they play out, whose lines and who can – Penix may not get the opportunities he gets most games if Michigan can control the ball and run the football like they want to. So I think it's interesting, but I'm not picking against Michigan. I think it's a toss-up. I really do. But, man, when you got a quarterback like Penix, but McCarthy is really good. That guy's only lost one game as a starter.
Yeah.
That's like when Jameis was for us. Jameis was 27-1. That was the only loss he ever had was for us. For that kid, that's two of your top 4 all-time college football win leaders.
Yeah.
Is Jameis and McCarthy, and then the other 2 guys ahead of them a long time ago. And there's a knack. Both are winners, so I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I don't have a decision yet. If I have more film to watch, I could tell you, but man, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, so we are huge Jameis fans. We love him. We think he's just a breath of fresh air. We want to see him get a starting job again in the NFL. You obviously coached him in college. Well, one question I have is, the time he came out in his full uniform when he was suspended. What did you say to him there? That's one of my favorite, because Jameis just wants to play.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't his fault.
Oh.
It was actually our equipment guy's fault. And here's what happened. His uniform was not supposed to be in his locker. Okay? When he came down to the locker, it was always said, if your uniform's hanging in your locker, you dress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for some reason, he was supposed to be suspended for a half of that game. The night before the game, the administration changed it to a full game. Okay? The night before. Well, the equipment guys didn't get that memo. So they put his uniform in his locker thinking he was going to play the second half. When Jameis came down, he said, all right, if the uniform's in my locker, I guess they want me to dress. He was just going to go on the sideline and stand, because the whole night before, when he found that out, he spent the whole time trying to get Sean McGuire ready. Jameis was fun to coach.
Yeah.
He was maybe the smartest individual I ever coached. And I don't know if teammates actually loved him to death. So when he came down, he just put the uniform on and went out to warm up instead of, saying, I don't want to dress or be embarrassed. So he was doing it and was going to stand on the sideline. And actually, if we hadn't had the uniform in the locker room, he wouldn't have dressed. So really, he got a bum rap for that. And I walked out and I said, Jameis, you can't do that. And he said, yes, sir, and immediately ran in. So it wasn't a big deal. So really, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, and it just becomes a clip in social media. And obviously, people are like, I just assumed that Jameis just wants to play ball so bad. He's like, I'm going to put on my
he
uniform
would.
in this case. Yeah.
But he was the ultimate team guy. People have Jameis, I'm going to tell you this as a player. He spent as much time with every walk-on on our team as he did every starter. He knew the equipment guys. He knew the janitors. He knew everybody in that building, spoke to him, was nice to him, never saw himself as a celebrity, was always one of the guys and spent as much time with every walk-on that team as he did with the starters on the team. Jameis never saw that about himself and was the greatest teammate around and was as smart an individual and prepared. His preparation was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to dial him in during games? Because he does like to throw the ball around. He likes to take chances. He likes to make great throws.
Oh, yeah. I always called it aggressive intelligence. I said, you got to be aggressive, but you got to be intelligent, know when to do it. And Jameis always hit. And there was a couple times on the sideline he'd get animated with. I didn't care. Understand something. Here's how Jameis was. I'll give you this as an example. If we practiced on Monday night and we did the basic things, and tomorrow we're going into first down, second down, our shot plays, our short yardage goal line, and Wednesdays is red zone, tight zone, all your calls. Like the night before, he would go off the practice field. He would watch his film on his laptop. He would sit in there and watch film till about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and we left about 10:30 on those nights as a staff. I'd get a knock on the door about a half hour before I left. And he'd say, Coach, I know tomorrow, say for instance, tomorrow's third down day in red zone. He said, I like these 5 things on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3 to 6. I like these on 7 to 10, 3rd and long, red zone. He would do it tonight. He said, I like these, and give me a list of things I like. He said, if you see anything else, we'll go over them tomorrow, whatever you see. This is what I see and what you see. So our preparation and interaction, I give him a lot of input in what we did. And we would communicate that way. And then he would go, and then the next day, so he was like a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was. I mean, he was like, and so we would on the sideline, we'd bicker about calls, and finally I'd say, Jameis, that's enough. He'd say, yes, sir, and move on. But his preparation and time, people thought it was disrespectful. It wasn't. The amount of time he prepared and the things he did as a leader was undescribable, man. It really was. And the players knew it. So they would laugh at us. They said we act like old married couple on the field in practice. We'd be arguing back and forth. And I'd say, all right. And I'd say, you know what? It's good to be the king. I'm the boss. Be quiet.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, he seems like that type of guy. So in terms of right now, there has to be a little small part of you that's like, obviously, the ending at Texas wasn't exactly what you wanted, but you probably are thinking like it's not the worst to have like a little bit of break of the transfer portal, the NIL, because it feels like the change in college football coaches now, that job just never ever stops.
It's the last 2 to 3 years of this thing has been more change in college football than ever. It's unbelievable how this is transformed. And I tell somebody, in February you can't have kids on campus. In July you can. That's just an NCAA rule. Every other weekend of every month of the year, you're working 7 days a week, every day. And you got recruits, you got people, there's somebody on your campus and things going on. Our staff work every other weekend except for those 2 months. I mean, so you basically 45 weekends a month around is what we worked year round. And it's changed. And then understand this. Think if the NFL was open free agency. And now they just passed the other rule that it's unlimited transfers. It wasn't just one. Now it's unlimited. You don't have to wait till you graduate. Think of every contract in the NFL right now was negotiable. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then people tampering with players into that. I mean, college football right now, it needs a commissioner. It needs a commissioner, and we need to do this thing the right way. I've got a lot. I mean, and go to get your 50 or 60 teams, whoever's going to be in Division I, make it more like an NFL league. Intertwine your leagues of play a lot more so you can get a true playoff picture and play it more like you do the NFL and do it the right way.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be good in that role?
That's a good question. I mean, there could be a lot of guys. It could be an ex-coach. I mean, an ex-commissioner that runs it. I mean, a coach going to do it, but a commissioner is done. I mean, I haven't thought that out. I mean, but you'd have to get some of your top commissioners in the world. And I think some of your ex-top coaches or people who have been in it would be good. Somebody who really has an inner work and understand the inner workings of what we as coaches and what a program goes through is going to be the guy that has to do that.
I'm going to throw a name out there. You might know this guy. I believe he's from West Virginia as well, Oliver Luck.
Yeah, I mean, possibly he could. I mean, I know of Oliver. I don't know Oliver because I grew up right there outside Morgantown, about 30 miles in Clarksburg. Like I say, Nick and I are about 15 miles apart right there through there. But he would be a guy. But you need somebody with a worldly that really gets it, that understands it. And, maybe it's one of your commissioners that are out there now. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But, man, it's this game. People have no idea the stress that's on a staff right now. And the amount of people you have to run an organization now. People who want to cut back are crazy because the amount of time you got to spend on the phone with recruits, with your own players, and the head coach's role. The head coaches that coach now, man, it's hard.
Yeah. Because
you're having to recruit your own players back, and the relationships you're building, the ability to spend time during the day interacting with them, calling, talking with families. It's so different now that's unbelievable.
I said it maybe a year or two ago, but I think a couple teams have done it. But like every program, major college football program, should have a GM, an actual GM who acts like a GM, like an NFL GM, where like you're helping and assisting the roster building and all that stuff. Because I don't know how you can do both coaching and be a GM year round.
Well, your players though, as a coach, you can because they got to judge them, but you still got to approve them. What you're playing and what you're doing with, but you got to have a GM who's all right. These are our guys we're recruiting. This is what we do. We see the roster managed this way. There's no doubt. You have a GM. We all hired him.
Yeah.
We've been hired him for a long time.
Yeah.
And you have to have him. And as a head coach, he's still got to have a good grasp and feel because what can happen there, just like in the NFL, which I don't always. I mean, you got a GM and a head coach. They can't be one. I don't think you can do both, but they got to have an unbelievable working relationship.
Yeah.
That relationship right there, and a guy you can trust who knows what you want in players. Who know what the system is, who know what the characteristics of people you want, all that. It's a very important role now. And the amount of people you got to hire, because you don't understand the amount of phone time. To recruit 25 guys, you're starting at 1,000 to 600. Then you're just winding that list down. The amount of phone time you're spending on the phone communicating with those guys is unbelievable. Because a head coach, the coach has got to go coach at some point.
Right.
So you got to have a whole personnel department. And groups that recruit freshmen, groups recruit sophomores, groups that recruit. Because if you're not recruiting the freshmen and sophomores right now, when you don't start to your juniors, they say, well, you didn't want me, you're out. So you have no idea the amount of time and amount of people you have to have behind the scenes to run your organization.
Yeah. And then you got people leaking word to slice bread on social media, putting all sorts of things out there. Sliced bread, I'm going to just put this out there. I think Sliced bread is probably a listener of this podcast, if I had to bet. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to directly address Sliced bread and his report about Texas A&M.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. The college football change don't lie. I'm going to write a book on this one day. I'm going to write a book. And now, when he wrote those numbers, I said, my God, where's it at? I wish that would have happened.
Yeah.
I really had all that. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. The amount of NIL deals at A&M at that time in all sports combined, he said our class was $35 million. There was less than $1 million. There was right at $1 million for all sports combined.
Yeah.
That's what upset me so much about it is that not that, all right, you can insinuate all those things have always been said, guys, Bob, but you were insinuating the families of it. And I'm telling you, that was as far from the truth as anything was ever out there. And here's the big thing. All of the media went and ran with that story as truthful without ever checking it. And I'm talking about the big dogs.
Well,
I'm talking about all the people we regarded as highly respected guys that college football changed on a lot.
Well,
I'm going to write a book about it one day.
You don't need to check it. It's Sliced bread. He's the most reliable source out there.
Your Sliced bread says $35 million. That's written in stone.
Do you?
It's just funny how all that goes, and everybody just says, "Oh, it's on the internet. It's good. It had to happen." And that is as far from the truth as ever. And now it's turned into a zoo.
Did you ever think you'd get to a point in your coaching career, speaking of the internet, where like your buyout is like, discussed every single day? Because it was, I mean, listen, your contract's your contract, so you should never apologize for the money you make. But it did become like this big thing, Jimbo's buyout, people tweeting it, people talking about it. Everyone knows it by the back of their hand. Like, did you ever think you'd get to that point?
No, honestly, I don't have social media.
Right.
Believe that or not.
No,
I
believe
guys
it.
that tell me all the stuff we have to have and report it. So it was, but no. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, but it doesn't surprise me. Anything on social media now.
Yeah.
Anything to get a hit or get a thing.
Yeah. Well, congrats on the buyout. It's a great number.
Thank you.
It's a great number.
Yeah, like Coach O's reaction.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Right.
When Coach O had to leave LSU, his reaction was like, when do you want me to leave and what door do you want me to walk out of? I'm sure you didn't want to finish your time at A&M, but at the same time, you leave and you're like, hey, I can go play golf for a while.
Yeah.
It's about success. You want to have success, and I still think there was a heck of a team here, and if we didn't have some injuries, but we'll get into that later. But here's what I say about this. For myself, I'll be fine. But here's what you hate about that. All those people I were talking about, all the people in recruiting, all the support staff, that's the people when a changeover is made. I mean, you're talking about 50, 70, 75, 80 people that can lose jobs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the changeovers and everything that goes on, that's the people you're sad for.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And I feel like I let them down because we're not there. They were counting on me to have those jobs, and they don't have multi-year contracts. Our coaches all had at least got 1 or 2 years left on a buyout. They're going to get jobs. They'll be fine, at least be able to get on their feet. Those other guys who are on year-to-year contract, like we were when we first started coaching, we all coached on 1-year contract. That's the people I feel bad for, and that you try to help out and try to find jobs all over the place for them.
Yeah, so
tough business for them.
So, you obviously, I mean, I would assume you're going to get the itch to coach again at some point. You're not an old guy in terms of coaching terms.
Exactly.
Are you gonna let it settle for a little bit and then be like, all right, where are my options?
Yeah, exactly right. I'm gonna let it settle right now. Good thing I'm gonna do is spend some time with my family. I actually got to see my son play his last 4 high school football games. I got to the state semifinals. It was great, because you're missing that all the time. Working on our foundation for Kids First Fund and all those things, but just get to spend some time with them and in normal life. And I mean, it does feel weird because you were working, you 14, 18-hour days every day, and you wake up and you go, "What I want to do today?" And I said, "Whatever the hell I want."
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
That's a weird deal. I mean, it really is. But eventually that time and what you do, you want to get back into it and get the right situation and get back in coaching.
And now you have the great line whenever you do coach again, you can be like, my wife told me I had to go get a job. That's like, I feel like that's every coach. She's like, I spent some time with my family, then she told me this is enough time. You got to go get a job.
Exactly right. Like I can say, everybody says, "Am I fine?" I said, "I'm fine." It's the people around me who are struggling.
Yeah, right,
People
right.
had to put up with me every day. We only had to do it for about an hour or two a day. Now they're having to do it all day.
Were you blindsided by the dismissal this year? Did you see this coming at all?
No, I mean, you don't ever see it coming because I still thought, we were playing well. We had a great game. We're going to hope we finish out well, probably 8-4 or so, have a chance to go 8-4, 9-4, win 9 games. And we had the injuries that happened. So, I mean, because I really think the team we had coming and what we had going was going to be a really good football team. But, hey, that's it. That's their choice. That's what they make. I wish them the best, and I hope those kids have success.
Yeah.
Now that you're no longer at A&M, maybe you can answer this question freely. Be honest. Do the yell leaders, do they creep you out a little bit?
No, they're good. They're great. I mean, I'm going to tell you something now. Those guys they work their tails off. And the conditioning they're in, the amount of push-ups and things they do. I mean, I always tell our players, we got to be as good a condition as yell leaders, man. Those guys work their butts off. They're good guys.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, so I wanted the name Jimbo. As far as I can tell, it was because you were named Jim and there was too many Jims already in your family. Is that correct?
Yeah, my real name's John.
Oh.
John James. I got John. I'm a junior. John James Fisher Jr. But you're right. So my dad was called Jim, Big Jim. I had an uncle Jim, Jimmy Lee, and there was another, and there was Jims and Big Jim, Jimmy Lee, Jim Little. So my aunt one day, I'll tell you a funny story. This is a true story. I was in the first grade, and I went to school. So every school teacher calls you by your real name. So the first month of school, I got whipped, put in the corner, got in trouble every day for about 3 to 4 weeks. So my aunt, who actually named me Jimbo, was the secretary to the principal at the school. So my my teacher finally, after went up to her and said, my aunt's name was Juanita. She said, "Juanita, I think your nephew, John, I think he's either defiant and won't listen, or he has a hearing. I think he truly has a hearing problem. He will not communicate with me." And my aunt just kept working. And she said, "Juanita, I'm talking to you." She said, who are you talking about? She said, "Your nephew, John, he won't listen to me." She said, "Try calling him Jimbo." So she started calling me Jimbo. I never got in trouble again. I never knew she was talking to me.
That's incredible.
I had no idea she was talking to me. That's a true story.
That's great.
And because they called me, but she named me Jimbo when I was 2, and it just stuck.
And I saw there was an internet hoax a while back where people said that your actual nickname was Slim Jimbo because all you would eat was Slim Jims when you were a kid. I wish that were true.
Me too. Now you know where the Slim Jim stuff came from and all my son. All right, here's social media. Here you go. Here's another social media. My son Trey, my oldest son, he made up a fake account and all these things. He was about 10 or 12, figuring it all out. And I was always, people. So they said, "Give me something about your dad." He made up this false narrative that I was going to own a beef jerky family and one of the company of that. That was what I ultimately wanted to do in Slim. So all that stuff came from my son making it up on social media. That's a true story too.
That's great.
Did you
When he
have
was
to have a
about
word
12,
with
and
him?
I kept getting. Well, in the mail, fans started sending me all this beef jerky and Slim Jims and all this stuff. I'm going, why? I thought to myself, why in the hell is everybody sending me all this stuff? I mean, that's great. I don't mind it, but I got to then. And my son was laughing one day. He said, look. He said he pulled up his social media. He was like 12, and he showed it to me. He made up all this whole false narrative of all these things I liked and what I wanted. So the fans were sending me all this stuff, and he just made it all up.
Yeah.
So if you were to own a food processing company, what kind of snack would it be?
Oh shit. Oh Lord, I don't know what it'd be. Maybe it would be food processing.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be some kind of Slim Jim factory or something. It'd be some kind of beef jerky. It'd be deer jerky.
Yeah.
Some kind of deer jerky.
There you go. So can you describe what your it might be too early to know exactly where you want to go, but what would be your ideal type of next job?
Well, I mean, a job where you can win it. I mean, and play and be competitive and win championships and win games, and like we did at Florida State, like we did here. Still through 2020 till we had the injury, we got. I always say this. I thought in 2020 we were truly the second best team in the country. It's funny, at that time at A&M in 2020, we were the only one-loss team in the history of the SEC never make the playoff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was with
a
an
weird
all-SEC
year.
schedule.
Yeah.
We ended up being ranked 5th, and they let Ohio State in with 6 wins, and Notre Dame, who lost the conference championship just like Georgia did, and got out. Because, I said like during the playoffs this year, if you want to pick the best 4 teams, Georgia's still one of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get down and Florida State should have been the play. I know it didn't go. I'm an advocate of they went undefeated. They deserve to be in it. But you know, that whole dynamic of the way, you know, that went but I want to go somewhere you can win and be successful, which there's a lot of programs out there and do it. And just you can recruit and have fun. 'Cause I still love working with the kids. I love recruiting and the coaching part of this game. I still love. I know it's changed, but I still love it.
Yeah, we were big advocates for Florida State. If you win all your games, like those kids, you tell them at the beginning of the season, hey, win your games, and you have a chance to compete for a national title. I don't care injuries and all that. That should be what sport is about.
I mean, it's about what you do between the white. Every time in sports, it's about overcoming whatever you got to overcome.
Yep.
They did that. They ought to got bonus points for it, not taken away. We're not figure skating. This isn't figure skating.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not judgmental. And if you want to judgmental, I think Georgia's one. I mean, and we said, well, Alabama shouldn't have got in. Well, let me ask them. I mean, I know Texas beat them, but everybody talking about you put 2 1-loss teams ahead of them. How many? You're not just one. You put 2 1-loss teams ahead of an undefeated team, an ACC champion. Whether they won or not, they deserve the right to be in. They earned the right to be in it. And that's the thing about sports, what you do between the white lines. And Texas beat Alabama when Alabama wasn't very good. Alabama was a much better team. And I'm not saying so. I know it was head-to-head, but they also lost to Oklahoma, who lost to UCF and Oklahoma State.
Right.
I mean, so that's why I say the 14. What I don't like about it, they said if you look at the college playoff, here's the thing I had a problem with. If you look at the rules and how it's set up, it was set up that they could do whatever they wanted to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a cut and dry thing. That's why I said the BCS and the computer was actually better than what we had now.
Yeah.
Because it's turned into an opinion poll. I mean, and what we did, and it was wrong to Florida State. It was wrong. And to have 5 conferences and 4 guys getting the playoff, what sense does that make?
That was the whole problem.
From the get-go, it was flawed.
Yep.
It was flawed from the get-go.
Yeah. Because I think no one would have had a problem if it was 4 conferences and every conference champion just goes. Because then you play it in between the white lines, and it's like that's how it works. But
you know, but that's the other thing I'm too. We got to do something with this. I'm a historian of football. I wanted the history of these bowl games to mean something, and it's sad to watch. I mean, the teams that have the guys play who have young teams, it's great because there's nothing like I don't care. Going to a bowl game and the bowl experience for those kids is tremendous. And what we've done to the bowl system is sad.
It is.
Yeah, a lot of opt-outs. And I understand it from their perspective, though. If you're a player.
I understand from the player's perspective, but what we do college football-wise, even when there was only 2 teams, the bowl games meant a lot more.
Yep.
I mean, for a team to go win an Orange Bowl, go win a Sugar Bowl, if you're not in, if that's not one of the playoff things, that's a big deal. I remember sitting as a kid dreaming I could ever coach in one or play in one or, and it's a shame in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like 30 years from now, we're going to look back and explain the system that we had. And it's like, at the end of the season, if your team was above 500, they played some other random school in a stadium sponsored by a lawn mowing company. And we're going to be like, wait, what does that have to do with football? But yeah, no, that's why I'm excited about the 12-team playoff because
I think it's better. I definitely
do. Meaningful football. But I guess the more important question of BCS or college football playoff, which trophy do you prefer? Because there's a correct answer to this.
Which trophy? And what we're going I'm missing what
the actual
actual
makeup
trophy.
Of the trophy.
The crystal ball that they used to have or the new one, which is more of like a Lombardi type trophy.
Yeah.
Whichever one makes you the champion.
Yeah, well, because the Crystal Ball Trophy was the best trophy in sports. It was incredible.
I don't think there's any doubt. I liked it. I mean, I liked it because I got to hold it up once.
Yeah, right.
It's a great trophy.
Right. So we just had a holiday season. In your house, is there a rule now? Like, hey, Christmas tree can't go out on the curb until like January 1st. We got to make sure.
That's a funny story. We had already put the Christmas tree out when that happened. And so everybody was looking for something. I had did it before I ever made a decision to even leave Florida State. So everybody's looking into everything again. And I thought it was cute. But from now on, I'm going to have to be aware of that. So if I have to change, I'm going to make sure we keep them in until after I go somewhere.
Yeah, you got to just make sure the Christmas tree stays in until January 1st just to be safe because you don't want it. That was just peak college football message board, just everyone looking for something. It was, I mean, we're fans of the sport, and like that is part of the sport. It's the storylines and all that stuff.
That's why, but listen, that's why so many people are passionate about it, so many people love it. That's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the flight tracking is one of my favorite things too, where guys on message boards, they track the tail numbers of the jets, and they can figure out which coach is going to interview for which job. So you got to be all over that, because I know that they're going to be watching planes going in and out of your hometown.
You know what somebody ought to do is get about 6 planes there and take them all off at once and go 6 different directions, see where everybody goes.
It's more like the president when they get into the one limousine and then the decoys go elsewhere.
Exactly. You're in witness protection.
Yeah, I'm curious, from your perspective, what is it about West Virginia that makes for good coaches?
I'm genuine people. Listen, coaching is about one thing. It's about relationships. You can say it all you want, your knowledge, but you got to have a relationship, and people got to know you're genuine. There's got to be an honesty to you. And I think West Virginia people are real people. Their pride is in West Virginia University. There's no pro teams. People are genuine. They're honest. They're tough. And I mean, it's a hard living. I mean, listen, my dad, I never forget this story. I was about 12 years old. I was 10 or 11 years old. And in that smart aleck routine, my dad was a coal miner. Matter of fact, he was blown up in a coal mine when I was 2. He was in the hospital for 6 months and went back after he was out for 2 years. He went back to the coal mines again and worked. I mean, it was, if you're going to make money, that's where you work. That or a glass factory or something. It was a blue collar state. And I was real smart. Being a smart aleck, about 11, 12 years old, thought I knew all the answers. And he grabbed me. He had a way of doing things. Now I guess they put you in jail for it. He said, I don't want to do schoolwork. I ain't doing this. He said, all right. He grabbed me right by the back of the neck and my hair. Got hair and neck. If your dad ever did that, drugged me up the hill, threw me in a truck and said, come on. We went to the coal mine. We got in the buggy, went 1.5 miles down. He said, all right, get out. But I had him. I'll do this. He'll start, here's what you're worried about 30 minutes. I said, Dad, this ain't very fun. He said, you either going to get an education, son, or this is what you're going to be doing the rest of your life. You got 2 choices. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get my education. And ball was a big thing. Sports is a big thing there. They love it. And it's blue collar people, it's honesty. So I think the relationships you build, you're genuine, you're tough. People in West Virginia tell you like it is. Don't ask them a question if you don't want the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just the people they are. Ball's important. And I didn't want to work in the coal mines. And I love ball. We grew up loving it. And you know what's funny? All right, I live in outside of Clark, a little town called Glen Falls, little coal mine community. Nick lived in Monongah, which is a coal mine. You know who lives 7 miles right in between us, where he's from and was born and raised?
Ooh.
John McKay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you had him. And then Fielding Yost, who won 6 national championships at the beginning of the 1900s with Michigan, lived about 15 or 20 miles in Grafton from Fairview on the other side. He was right in. So all of us, it's funny, within about a 25-mile radius, there's like 18 national championships.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But I think we love ball. There's genuineness. There's a toughness to the people there. There's an honesty to them. And you get what you get, and guys want to blow it. And we love ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just always loved it.
Cradle of coaches. Well, Coach, this has been awesome. I have one last question. It's a rowback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. Use it. Get your Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, fleeces, everything. Rowback.com, promo code TAKE. This has been so much fun. We appreciate your time. I had one guy that we had to ask about because I think that time is not like remembering him for his greatness as much as it should, and it's Bobby Bowden. He was like, if you look at the schedule, if you look at the years that he stacked up where it was just 11-win season after 11-win season, it really is incredible what he accomplished. So what was it about Bobby Bowden that you learned or that was special about him that made him such a great, great coach?
First, let me say this. I was so blessed to be there. Their family took me in like a son. I played for Terry, and I got to go spend time. When they would go visit Florida State, they would take me when I was playing and coach. I would stay at their house. I would stay at Bobby's house and go to practice. I would go to bowl games. They would get me a room. When I was the OC at Sanford, I was 23 or 24 at the time. We went to the national playoffs. I remember going to the year I got the job, they were playing Penn State in the Blockbuster Bowl. Put me in a room, and I got to go listen to Coach Bowden organize a meeting all week, just sitting in the back. Listen to him call games with a headset on. I would sit and not be able to talk and just listen to him call plays. But Bobby was genuine. He was honest. He was I think he's the greatest person that ever walked the sideline. I don't mean that in any disrespect to anybody else. He was such a godly man, who he was every day, what he did every day, the things the role he played. And I'm going to tell you this. In today's time, Bobby, to make Florida State from 87 to 2000, they went 14 straight years being in the top 5 and won 10 or more games when you was only playing 11. That was that run from 1987 till then. if you remember from 1980 to 86, he lost 6 in a row to Florida. And he only beat Miami once or twice. And he had never had a record better than 9-3 as he built Florida State. And that was after he went to 2 Orange Bowls in 79 and 80 with Ron Simmons. You might not even be coaching today's world because they get rid of those 6. And he had to establish Florida State as a winner. And it took him time. He was 7-4, 8-3, and he took those years. But then once 87 hit, and the 79-80 teams were great teams. They played back-to-back Orange Bowls. But he took off and won. But Bobby was the most genuine, honest person. And he had things in perspective. It was God, family, and ball. And I was so blessed to have been around him and learn how to do things the right way. He could sit with you and be with you for 5 minutes and you think you knew him for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he never put himself above you. He knew who he was. He never who he was as a human being. He was God first, family second, ball third. And that's sad. Like I'll take, you're right. I'll say something to kids. They Coach Bowden. Who's that, Coach? I mean, we forget so quick in our society about how successful. I got one. I mean, at the time was the winningest coach in college football history.
Yeah.
380 some games and national championships and played for so many and did it at a school that didn't have very. I mean, Florida State wasn't a football rich school. Never even started playing football like at 48 or 49. It was a girls' school till then, believe it or not. And what he did, to me, he did more at that school and what he accomplished than any man in the history of college football. And he was the best gentleman that ever did it, a winner. To me, he's the best. I mean, the top coach of that person I've ever been around. And his family, what Jeff, Terry, Tommy, Steve, all his family and his kids, they treated me like a brother and a son. And I was so blessed to be at early ages with him. And you're right. People don't appreciate what Bobby Bowden did and who he was as a human being, and who he was as a coach and what he meant. And, man, he was fun to call game. When I got to coach with him and be around him, he could call any play on any down and distance, man. He would let it fly. And he had the guts. I mean, just think the fumble Ruski, when you're 4th and 10 in a tie game with a minute 50 to go at Clemson on your own 20, and he hit the fumble, he hit the punt Ruski that won that game and won the national. I mean, things he did. He was an amazing coach, amazing person.
Yeah, it's a great point too about like how quick coaches get fired these days, because like you do look at it and it's like, yeah, that 86 season went 7-4-1. They probably would have been like, oh, it's not working.
Well, in 85 he was 9-3, and 84 he was 7-2-2, and 83 was 7-4, and won the Peach Bowl 9-3, and 82, 81 he was 6-5, didn't go to a bowl game.
Right.
And then you wouldn't make it. And they let him keep going. And in 87, all of a sudden, and he established how to win. Somewhere they teach him somewhere how they had never won at that level. He did it at 70. Here's a bad thing. He did it 79, 80, had 2 great years, then had 5 or 6 years that were just good, but not great. You'd fire the guy today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then let him establish himself. I mean, it's just, but he did more with less, and what he did was, he's an amazing man, amazing coach. I was so blessed to be able to be around him and to see how things were supposed to be done right.
Yep. I have one last question here for you. Who is the best player that you've ever coached? You can't say Jameis.
Oh, my God.
Because we just talked about Jameis. I'm going to put Jameis in his own category. But you've coached a lot of good ones.
Oh, my God. I mean, you're talking about Derwin James. You're talking about Jalen Ramsey. You're talking about Timmy Jr. You're talking about Dalvin Cook. You're talking about, Kelvin Benton. Rashad Green is a guy in Florida State history that never got the credit. He's the all-time leading receiver in ACC history, yards and touchdowns and catches. It's Rashad Green. I mean, then you go back to my LSU days. I mean, Whitworth and Spears and Clayton and just the quarterback, Rohan David, Jamarcus. I mean, man, I can't say that. I mean, I'm going to tell you, like LaMarcus Joyner, Kelvin Smith, those guys on that. I'm going to tell you this. People don't appreciate this. The 2013 team at Florida State, you realize it's the biggest point differential in college football history at teams that played at least 10 games. Before that, I think Army had like 9 games and won by 52 points. That 2013 team won by 39.5 points a game.
That's crazy.
LSU broke the offensive record that year, beat us by 1 point in total points scored in the season, but had one more game. And we had Jameis out at 5 games at halftime. But we averaged 51, 7 or 8, and gave up 12. And LaMarcus Joyner, Kelvin Smith, Timmy Jernigan, Devontae Freeman. I've been able to be around so many unbelievable football players. Ronald Darby, P.J. Williams, Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James. Dalvin. It's just Carlos Williams. I mean, just, and then A&M guys. I've been around some phenomenal, had great players at A&M. Travion Williams, people forget he ran for 1,700 yards for me.
Yeah.
Eric McCoy is a center. Our quarterback. People don't give our quarterback, the credit he did in the 2020 season. What he was able to be able to do that season was unbelievable, and how he played and the season he had and what he did. So, I've been blessed to have so many of them, and it's unbelievable.
That was a great example of just guys naming dudes.
Yeah, that was great.
That was an all-time list of
all
dudes
the
you
dudes
just put out there.
Yeah.
Didn't mention T-Bob Bear, I noticed.
I didn't coach him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But you would have said
I wasn't there. You had Whitworth, Spears, Lavelle. You go, the corners, Corey Webster, Travis Daniels, Randall. You can go through that whole
guys
list.
naming dudes. I love it.
It's a great list.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thank you again. This has been so much fun. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, anytime, guys. It's great. Y'all got a great show, man. I love your show. It's good.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on next season, as long as you're not coaching. But maybe if you're coaching too, we'll still have you back on.
It don't matter. Whatever. We'll have some fun.
All right. Thanks so much, Jimbo.
Good to see you, Jimbo.
See you guys. Have a great day.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, recurring guest. He is an NFL football player, also a podcaster. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler. It is Cam Jordan. How you doing, Cam? Thanks for joining us, and welcome back.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me back on. I'm doing okay. I can't say I'm doing phenomenal, but we started off, we ended 2023 on a great way.
Yeah. So we're gonna either run this. We're doing less shows this week, so we might run it after week 18, but we're taping this before week 18. But I actually wanted to start with that. It is right before week 18. How is the body feeling? And I actually kind of want to just know, because we obviously watch the sport and we know, like, oh, everyone's dinged up this time of year. But we kind of just throw it off to the side, like, yeah, you got to get out there and play. How bad is it, though, at this point of the year where you're like, my body is just broken?
I think my body's finally about to be healed.
Oh.
if that makes more sense. Like, we had bye week, what is that, like week 11, week 12, what a while ago. And, you get that body back. You're like, yes, let's go. It's time to go play. We play Atlanta, and in Atlanta game, a pile up happened, and I end up on the wrong side of pile up, end up with a high ankle sprain, tore some ligament in my shin-ish ankle area, and the syndesmosis. And I still, I had to look it up 17 times because I had no idea what that even meant. And then I was like, they're like, hey, we're going to rehab this. You may be down this week. I was like, nah, I don't go down. I was like, no, I'm playing this. Ended up playing and added on a nice little low ankle to it. So I've been thugging it out the last 5 weeks with a high end low ankle sprain on the left leg. I was like, anything for a team win. I was like, if you guys feel like I'm in the best position to help this team win, I'm on the field. And so I've just been, relegated to first and second down, stopping the run. You know what that does to a defensive end's identity of, hey, I like to rush the passer as well.
They just get out there and
I did not know that would have been my, you never know. You know? So I didn't know that would have been the last time I was able to really bend the corner up until this past weekend. I finally bent the corner and was like, I can push off again.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you played your way back into shape by playing a violent sport. We were talking about that earlier this season with Joe Burrow when he had kind of an ankle, lower leg injury. And he played his way back into shape. Were you getting healthier throughout games? Could you feel getting stronger? Because me, if I have an ankle sprain and I take 2 steps, if I get up to go take a piss, I'm like, I got to go sit down. I just aggravated my ankle. But you were actually making improvements.
Yeah, I was working my way Monday through Saturday, whatever it takes to be all right, well, I'm in a boot until practice. And then right after practice, I'm back in a boot. Hey, whatever this takes, I'm in ice rehab, doing all the electric stim, whatever it takes, whatever it is. I'm like, hey, going out, nah, I don't need it. I was like, hey, family events, hey, look, I'm on this ice and rehab, rest, elevation, the combination, right? And then Sunday play, and I wouldn't say get better, probably reset you back a couple of days.
That's crazy.
Right after the game, back in the boot, Monday through Saturday, redo the whole situation. And then finally this week, I was like, I'm out of the boot by Thursday. What's up?
Yeah.
Good. So it sounds like you're feeling a little bit better. Are we feeling good enough to play next year too? Or where are we at with that?
That's a no-brainer, bro. I've never had this low of a sack total in my career since like rookie year. I'm already in my villain arc. I'm headed into my revenge season. Absolutely. I mean, the black and gold is the only way I'll ever really play football anyways.
Yeah.
So, like I'm playing this and I'm already spurned. I'm spurned already.
Yeah.
Spurned.
I
Use
like
the word
that.
spurned.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Comeback player of the year next year. So speaking of like, your career, you've been playing for a very long time. You're, 34. And don't take disrespect to it because I would assume this happens to every player where the step is maybe a tiny bit slower. But how much now are you getting by on instinct and knowing the game better than you did maybe when you were younger? Because I love seeing players who can still play at a high level at 30s, and you're like, no, they're just savvier than everyone out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always loved my ability to rely on like, hey, I went to Cal. Like we're actually smarter people. But just you add that on with experience, and naturally you understand how to break down film. What the nature of the game is. And luckily, I came into this league at like, they said I was 287, but you look at my rookie film and Fluffy Cam in a Reebok jersey was, 3. I was Miami area code, I might have been 305. I get it. So I lost some weight, probably gained an extra step or two, and I don't see myself slowing down. But even if I am slowing down a step, I've never relied on those first two steps anyways.
Yeah.
I've always been hand combat active and ready to get in, ready to put work in. So honestly, I love the idea that I could be slowing down because if I'm slowing down, that just makes everybody else look slower.
Yeah. And do you notice though in a game where there'll be, let's say, a handful of plays where you're like, oh, I just knew it was going to happen because I've been doing this for so long. And like, there's nothing they could do to stop me there because I can anticipate better than the guy across from me. Facts.
There's always going to be plays like that. There's always going to be a series you're like, oh, I see what they did here. They got this condensed formation, and you've got this offset running back, whatever it is. I'm not going to allude to it, but there's a play against Tampa Bay. You line up, you look at the formation, you're like smiling, getting down into the stance. You're like, yeah, I'm wrecking this shit.
Oh, that must be the best feeling. Just knowing
and then
exactly.
you fall off the TFL. So then what does it matter? You're like,
that's great.
And that's why players make plays too. Like, would you slow them down? It was in the backfield immediately, trying to tackle what's the running back? White.
Yeah.
He slips through. Pete Warner comes down, smacks him. So it's still a TFL. Like it's a cause TFL my way.
Yes.
Not the same feeling as a TFL for me.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the hip drop tackle and the discourse surrounding the hip drop tackle? Because I'll tell you right now on this show, I don't think that there is such a thing as a hip drop tackle.
I've never even heard of the terminology hip drop tackle.
We need to find out who came up with that phrase.
Probably Warren Sharp.
Probably Warren Sharp. Somebody's trying to make a name for themselves. It's just tackling somebody. It's tackling somebody using your body weight. It's making a tackle from behind, which is there's only a couple ways to hit somebody if you're tackling them from behind.
I thought it would just been the competition committee.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be a panel of guys that never played football and knows all the analytics. That always they always implement 2 or 3 rules that like strap a defensive end or strap a defensive player. It's like, oh, you can't, no tugging on the whatever, no. Any slapping any part of the helmet is now a part of a face masking situation. You're like, bro, who made some of these rules? Like you can't hit a quarterback low, you can't hit him too high. You can't hit a wide receiver who's defenseless, although he's already caught a ball and he just hasn't whipped his head around to lock eye confirmation. Some point, I just figured at some point in the next year or two, I'm gonna have to ask permission to hit an offensive player.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm running full speed. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, you can't land on a quarterback. Like we've seen that many times.
On a quarterback.
Yeah,
it's crazy. There was a play Tampa Bay game. Tyrann Mathieu hits Baker Mayfield, and they called it a late hit. He's within 2 steps, ball's thrown. Like that's a regular hit in any era except for today's era.
Yeah,
that's a clean hit. In fact, if you would have took this to the 2000s when I was growing up watching guys like the Freak and Julius Peppers, young Julius Peppers, you'd be like, bro. Like that was something you probably chew them out for. Like, why didn't you hit them harder?
Right.
And now it's like, hey, did you put a pillow down and read him a bedtime story before you laid him down ever so softly on a bed of crumpled leaves or something? Like it's
It's true.
At this point, give a quarterback a flag.
I like that. My favorite is when a player tackles a quarterback and on the way down, they like take their arms off him to show like, hey, I'm trying not to land with my entire body weight on him, and they still get a flag for it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's a league that's always loved their offense. You knew that. It's all about points.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I'm sure fantasy football probably has a say in this in my mind. I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I just play the game.
If it's
to the best of my abilities and let it lay where it lays.
You get a star player that gets hurt, and then they look at that tackle and they say, "We need to take that tackle out of the game because we can't have our stars."
Yeah. And that's a hip drop tackle. I'm like, has anybody ever, from pee wee ball to high school ball to college to the pros, ever referred to it as, "Oh yeah, got a hip drop tackle that guy"?
yeah, it's true.
I can tell though you still miss sacking Matt Ryan. He must have been so fun to hit.
Man, he was good to me over the years.
Yeah,
I miss him dearly.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those people that'll always have a special place. Like 30 years from now, they'll be like, "Hey, Cam, do you remember? Yeah, that guy Matt Ryan, that great kind man, good family man. Hit him a lot back in the day. Like, can't wait for those days. When it's all said and done, and my grandkids are looking at me like, Dad, Grandpa used to play football? Yeah, there was this guy. He knew me really well.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan.
we used to meet a couple times a year. So speaking of which, what quarterback would you say has the best pocket awareness that you've played against? So maybe not like, elusiveness where they can, rip off a 50-yard run, but just for some reason they feel like they always have eyes in the back of their head and they're able to anticipate everything coming their way.
Man, I think Lamar's up there, and I haven't played him 2 years ago, last season, maybe last season. Lamar's up there. I think Bake the way he played this last game, we played him. He was quite aware that we were surrounding him. I mean, he was trying to get out of there. I think we could have had probably 4 sacks on him. I think we left with 2. I fell off one. I think they called a face mask on Brian Brzee. I didn't know he was sort of that aware and or like sneaky elusive.
Yeah. So Lamar, I have a question about this because this is something we talked about on the show. Lamar, I don't know if you know this, is 19-1 versus the NFC in his career. Now, is it crazy to say that it's just he's such a freak and so different that teams that don't get to see him, it's like it's that much more difficult to defend him because you just don't know that speed and elusiveness. You can't replicate it.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the fastest quarterback in the league, and when you think about it, yeah, you can't replicate that. But at the same time, he's just a playmaker. There's a reason why he's been a former MVP. Probably will be MVP of this league this year. I mean, he's a top tier talent.
Yeah,
yeah. A lot of stories this week about tackles reporting as eligible and the referees making announcements after hearing who's coming in to be eligible to catch a pass. I'm actually curious to know from the defensive side of the ball. Do you guys actually listen to what the refs say over the loudspeaker? Does that impact and directly affect what you're doing as a defense to cover them?
I'm just going to speak from a defensive line perspective because it depends on coverage at times. But so coverage would probably be a yes. Defensive line, I mean, I'm gonna label a pig and keep on going. You'd be like, oh, and you got an offensive lineman in there instead of tight end. All right. So now instead of trying to put this man on his back, now I get to try and choke him out. It is what it is.
That's great. We were talking about it. The PFT just mentioned it. The people online, the Twitter experts who break down film. How often do you scroll Twitter and you're like, these guys don't know what they're talking about? Because there's so many moving parts in an NFL game and what you guys are doing as a defense and what everyone's responsibility is. Do you get a chuckle when you see something and you're like, yeah, that definitely wasn't like the linebacker wasn't supposed to be doing that, so they did not make a mistake, or the defensive end was not supposed to be doing that. That's not a mistake. You're just watching film and guessing.
Hey, in this day and age, everybody's a critic. Everybody's a reporter. I feel like half the nation has a podcast.
That's true.
That's true. I got friends back at the crib that have a podcast. Like, bro, like when you gonna tune into mine? Off season.
Yeah, off season. Oh, come on, off season. Yeah. But do you see it? And because I would love to have that superpower of I feel like if I were a player, I just scroll Twitter every day and just dunk on those guys and be like, yeah. You see it every now and then. Like Mitchell Schwartz did it, I think last year, where someone was breaking down film and Mitchell Schwartz was like, that's not what the offensive line was supposed to do. So you're just making shit up.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've ever fired back at anybody like that, but I will. I mean, I will scroll Twitter, and sometimes I will drop some heat back at them. I try and go after people sometimes with the best of my what would Kevin Durant's burner account say. Sometimes you got to get after somebody.
Yeah.
Twitter.com. I live for this. You should actually go listen to people's podcasts and critique their ad reads. Like you screwed up dropping the promo line.
Yeah.
The 10% off.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah. I do what you do. You don't do what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You play with maybe our favorite player in the NFL, Jameis Winston.
Yep.
We've been fans of his for a long time. Just seems like a unique individual. Just solid vibes, good guy. What was your experience like meeting Jameis, and what does he bring to that locker room that makes people like him so much?
Man, I've known Jameis probably since he got to the league, because of course he was a number 1 overall pick for Tampa some years back. Met him in the backfield quite a lot, but then in the offseason, had a couple run-ins with him, and he was a great guy from jump. And you could always make fun of him when you don't really know him, and you're like, bro, the stuff that he's doing on the sidelines, the antics is hilarious over at Tampa Bay. You'd be like, man. And then he comes to New Orleans Saints. I'm like, here we go. And then, but you realize once you get to know Jameis, like he's like the warrior that you want in the locker room. Like if he's your boy, you guys go into a bar and there's 30 guys that are ready to fight. You want a boy like Jameis. Jameis is all in. Like he'd be like, hey, it's time to go. It's go time. And he's like, like if you're in the bar, you look at your boy. Jameis is a guy that's already got war paint on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh, didn't know it was time. And you're like, all right, well, I guess we're here.
Yeah.
So when you think about what he does on the football field, what he does in the locker room, what he brings to the locker room and the game, the energy that he brings, but he's such a positive force. Like you can't help but love and respect it. Like sometimes you hear Jameis, you be like, where was that even coming from? Like, what does that pertain to? And you like, bro, you look at his face and he's dead set. Like, today's the good day. You're like, yes, it is. yes, the hell it is. Why the hell not? Why can't it be a good day?
Yeah.
Like he's such a positive force, bro. It's sort of hard not to like, once you know him, once you understand where he's come from, it's hard not to root for him at every turn.
Did you guys give him any shit for eating the W? Were you like, that was a little weird,
absolutely.
dude? Yeah, all right, good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I feel like Jameis gets the shit. And he's just like,
if you look at it, I think his teammates at the time were giving him, like, he was in the dub and everybody in the circle was like,
what? Yeah. But that's incredible that, like, he's the type of guy that he can maybe have a couple of those moments, but you guys still ride for him, which it's pretty cool to watch.
Absolutely. Like, bro, like I said, there's nobody more invested than Jameis. Like, you can see some guys like, yeah, I play this. Like, he loves this game from the top of the morning to the end of the night, and probably still at the facility right now. If he's probably watching film ASAP. He's one of the last people to leave the building.
Jameis should have a podcast. If he doesn't already, Jameis should have a podcast. We're just like,
no way.
No way.
No, we're like somebody who's having a bad day. It could be anybody, any line of work. Someone who's having a bad day comes in, and Jameis just gasses you up.
Bro. Now that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no way better. I mean, back when me and Mark had our podcast, he popped on and it was like, bro, you leave feeling better.
Yeah.
Like, no matter, you just feel like I didn't think about this in a way. I feel more inspired and motivated.
Yeah, Jameis is kind of a drug. You hang out with Jameis, and after you're done, your whole perspective changes.
You leave better.
Yeah.
Like, you talk to Jameis, you're like, if I was having an okay day, it is now. I'm gonna make it a good day.
Yeah.
J-Boo made it a good day, so I'm gonna make it a good day.
Yeah, fuck ayahuasca. Aaron Rodgers got it wrong. You just got to hang out with Jameis for a little bit.
You got to hang out with Jameis. J-Boo, he's gonna get you right mentally. Yeah. Hey, mentally, you're just gonna be up there. Like, I'm on a different level.
Oh,
God, I want to take a big hit of Jameis.
Yeah, I have one bone to pick with you, Cam. You had this quote. Facing Breeze in practice, you said, helps the defense. It's not like we're going against Blake Bortles. It's not like Drew is giving picks away. We're very good friends with Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles went to an AFC Championship game, if you don't remember. Would you like to take that back? He is the boat. No. He went to AFC Championship game in the NFL.
And he should have beaten the
I
Patriots.
thought you meant like ACC Championship game.
No, AFC Championship.
AFC.
And they should have beaten the Patriots, but the refs took away a touchdown. Miles Jack was not down. Blake Bortles should have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
yeah, I'm not going to walk that one back.
What? He's the BOAT.
He was also your teammate.
He was. Yeah.
The BOAT.
He was. He's the best of all time.
I was like boringest of all time.
No.
The Blakest of all time.
Basicest of all time.
Wait, he was your teammate. Do you not remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great teammate.
Backup of all time.
Yeah. Okay. This
feels mean. This feels personal.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I just I'm not going to walk it back. I may even stand on 10 toes about it.
Drew Brees was good. Yeah, Drew Brees was pretty good at football. Did you? Speaking of other teammates, do you remember your time with Will Compton?
Yeah.
Was he on the team for how long? Was he on the team for?
I didn't even know he was.
I'd like to say like a few months, like at least.
He was.
We picked him up like halfway through the season, and I think he made like another half of the other season. Like,
yeah, this is how you get
patchwork the season together.
Yeah, this is how you get to 10 seasons. You just throw them kind of together, and you're like, boom, 10 seasons.
He's like a step linebacker.
10 seasons happened. I know 9 seasons happened, and then he was avidly searching for 10.
Well, he had to try it with the Falcons. We saw the tape.
Yeah, so. I mean, we that was the Twitter scroll. I saw that, and I was like, listen here, boys, your boy's not down and out yet. And I was like, year 10, here we go. But I don't think that year 10 ever got activated.
No, he had some takes about the Rashard Mendenhall tweet from a couple weeks ago, which I thought was a very funny concept. We ran the simulation here on Madden, and I think the black team won, what was it, like 65-59? So it was close.
We covered the spread. We covered the spread. Yeah, we covered the spread.
It's close.
Tyreek Hill was an issue for a secondary.
I did not see that one happening, actually.
Yeah. What would your spread be if you were to just lay that out?
I mean, the 60 sounded about right, and I mean, 35.
Yeah.
possibly 35.
We got a lot of tight ends.
Yeah, but like zero defense on your side. You know,
well,
like,
defensive line.
Defensive line is really good.
No,
Watt,
like defensive. I'm thinking like people who have to cover.
Oh,
you know, like
that part's tough.
Yeah. Like it's like nobody's. It's going to be just a myriad of touchdowns through the air. The air assault is going to be rare.
We're just hoping
you got Trey Henderson and T.J. Watt on opposite sides rushing and been in the corner at 7. So now all you have to do is step up.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to put the Boses.
Get ugly for you.
Put the Boses on the inside, and they're going to be playing their ass off in that game. So you got to hope that they just you hope that they clog the middle of the field.
You say Nick Bosa playing like he's supreme all pro.
It's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl for them. Yeah, Super Bowl for them. Yeah.
It's just an interesting thought experiment. I'm glad that a lot of people could take it not so seriously and turn it into. It shouldn't have been made to be like a big debate. It should be just like a healthy, fun thing to talk about where everyone can laugh at themselves a little bit.
Well, I assume that conversation happens all the time in the locker room. Like something similar.
Nobody ever nobody ever thought to be like, let's pit
an all-white
defense versus an all-black offense, and then the vice versa.
I'm going off
this doesn't sound like good ball.
I'm going off of what Will Compton told us, so he just was having that conversation with himself.
I think a lot of times he either had that in the back of his mind, or he would be seen always as like the gritty, scrappy, white, undersized linebacker, and so he thought about it in that term.
Yeah.
But yeah, the full-on debate probably didn't happen as much.
You should have it. Just throw it out.
With Trey Hendrickson, it's interesting.
I mean, I think it's happened because of that.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
it's not going to last long because most guys are going to laugh.
Yeah. You brought up Trey Hendrickson. He had a very interesting style, and he still does. No gloves. Didn't wear gloves as a defensive lineman. How crazy is that?
Savage. Yeah. I mean, practicing with them back in the day. We just look at him like him and my guy Marcus Davenport. They're like you be missing chunks out of their fingers. And I was like, I don't know what you're proving here, but you've proven it. Like if you're like, hey, I want mangled hands, this is the way to go about it.
Yeah. It's crazy watching that happen. This is a dumb question. Just how cool is it to have a guy on your team named Rashid Shaheed?
Rashid Shaheed, the need for speed.
Yeah, see? All right. So you guys, like, every time I say his name, I have a little smile on my face. I'm like, yeah, that rules. And you have Lil Jordan Humphrey, right?
Yeah.
No, Lil Jordan is over at Denver now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in Denver, but he was in the Saints. He was in the Saints.
He'd be balling. I like the LJ.
Yeah, those are some like Hall of Fame names between the two of those guys.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Do you guys get pumped up on the sidelines when Taysom gets in the game and he's just gonna run into a linebacker's face?
No, you guys get pumped up when Taysom gets to the game.
Yeah.
The whole world gets pumped up when Taysom gets into the game because it's going to happen and they can't stop it.
Yeah.
Sidelines, we just expect it. And move the chains. Wait, he hasn't even hacked the ball yet. Move the chains.
Yeah,
Continue.
A human first down. It's crazy because on paper, you look at his skill set, you look at his size. I imagine that there's probably a few dozen people in the NFL that are his size, his weight, and run about the same speed. But for whatever reason, Taysom Hill will always get a first down, and he'll always run through a linebacker. What is it that makes him different from all the other players that are, I guess, physically built the same way?
I have no idea how to answer that. Okay.
Yeah.
We got this guy when Taysom first in the league from Green Bay. Sean Payton walks over. I'm in stretch lines, minding my business. Sean Payton walks over. Taysom Hill, fastest running back, fastest quarterback in the last 40 years, faster than this guy. And I'm like, all right, Sean. I was like, I doubt he's faster than RG3. Faster. I was like, no, Michael Vick, yada, yada. Going through, he's like, no, this guy. Yeah. And then, when he gets downhill, I said, look at Peyton Hills go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Well, have you thought that are you a Hall of Famer? I think you're pretty close. I think you're getting there.
I'd say 7.5 sacks from now for the world to say I'm a Hall of Famer. Once I hit that 125 threshold. So, sometime could be this game. So if I go for a 7.5 piece, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But next year, somewhere in there, it's going to be all right, cemented 125. 125 is getting to the Hall of Fame. Last couple of years, you say I was a Hall of Famer 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You look at guys' numbers and it looks good.
Yeah, we might have to start the Cam Jordan Hall of Famer campaign on this podcast because it is true. If you play a couple more years and you get in that 125, 130, now you're in the top 20s, and everyone in the top 20s is in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Your words, not mine. Look, I'm gonna focus on what I can control. We got to play Atlanta, and we have to take care of business. I talk about accolades and such after the season. All I care about is being the best teammate and best player I can be.
Can you rank the teams in the NFC South that you hate the most?
No, I only hate one team. I don't have to rank them.
Is it the Falcons?
Yeah, that's it.
Because I feel like the Saints are always getting into fights against the Bucs too.
We over the course of my 13-year career, there's been turns where you're like, oh man, they're annoying. They're annoying. Oh man, Cam Newton in his prime, damn, he's annoying. He's just aggravating. But you didn't hate him. I had nothing but the highest respect for Cam Newton. I'm like, bro, he's such a good player, you can't help but respect him. Oh man, Josh Freeman is doing really good, or now McCown is doing really good, and Fitzpatrick is doing good, or Jameis is doing really good. The 75 quarterbacks that they've had over the last 13 years over at Tampa Bay, they're really doing all right. So you oh man, this offensive lineman is aggravating, but you wouldn't be those damn Buccaneers, But you say the word Falcons and it just makes sense, Falcons,
it's real.
You don't even understand, but my nose tackle Colin Sanders came in and was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Bro, I don't get the hype between you guys in Atlanta, bro. We played them," and he was like, "Nah, I hate them." I was like, "No, you get it. I get it.
Yeah,
freaking hate these guys."
It's the best part of sports: rivalries and true hatred.
True hatred. I see black and red, and I see I'm like, that's just a trash colorway. What are we doing here? Is this Any Given Sunday? What is this a movie? This is just some kiddie stuff.
Yeah.
Is it the team or is it the fans too?
Not so much the fans, it's the team.
Yeah.
The fans, there's more annoying fans in this world, But it's probably riled up by our city as well because we're just better.
Yeah. Who's the most annoying fan base?
You know who the most annoying fan base is.
Who?
Cowboys.
Oh,
Eagles?
Cowboys when they're successful, yes.
Okay.
But Philly any time of the year.
Okay, yeah.
Philly fans any time of the year, bro. I don't know why. They're just they make they're like vegans. They're you don't ask if they're vegan or not. They tell you.
Yeah, right.
You're like, yo, what about our Philly? I didn't even. Bro, I was talking about how if it was cold outside or not. Like, I didn't even say anything about Philly football.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
It's like, how you doing? We got fucking Fire Sirianni, man.
No doubt.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. All right, Cam, I know you got to run in a minute, so we'll
I
wrap
definitely
up.
got to run.
Yeah. So I'll go
get out.
last question. Roback question, RHOBACK.com, roback.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Weird question, but if you remember, you played the Bears in the playoffs. It was like 2019 or 2020. You guys won, but did you know that Mitch Trubisky actually won the MVP of that game? Did that ever get back to the locker room? He won the MVP. Nickelodeon valuable
no
player.
comment. Like,
Okay.
don't get me started.
No, but he won it. He won the
Was
MVP.
this-
You got the blimp.
when he played it for Chicago,
Yeah. The Bears lost, but
right next to Bortles' jersey, put Mitch's
okay,
jersey.
this interview's over.
We actually do have. I think we have an MVP trophy around here somewhere.
Yeah.
It's the Nickelodeon blimp with the slime on it.
Yeah, so you guys won the playoff game, but you didn't really win because you didn't win the MVP. That's my point.
So again, so right there, that Jaguars Bortles, there should be a Bears Trubisky.
Yeah, we have a type.
Yeah, we do.
We have a type. All right, well, Cam,
Votes.
thank you so much, man. It was great having you back on. Hopefully we'll catch up some other time as well and have you back on because we love having you on.
I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed one.
Cam Jordan was brought to you by Optimum Nutrition. Are you ready to unlock more in 24? Well, adding gold standard 100% whey protein by Optimum Nutrition to your workout gives you 24 grams of high-quality protein to support muscle building and recovery in rich, delicious flavors, an essential piece for building a routine that can help you get more with your workouts. Unlock your personal best, available at your favorite stores like Walmart, Amazon, and at OptimumNutrition.com.
Okay, Fyre Fest of the week, boys. Hank, Fyre Fest, you had to come back to work?
Had to come back to work. I committed to dry January.
Hank in private texts, even in private texts, will clarify that he's not going to work this summer. Private text.
What does that mean?
We were texting back and forth about just how awesome the Jersey Jerry thing was and like how great it was for the office and like we're just hit the ground running New Year. And he said, yeah, now that the holidays are over and everything's set up and everyone's settled, we can cook full steam ahead, parentheses, till summer, parentheses, and then back again in the fall.
Yep.
Private text.
Yep.
He's keeping it in my head.
I like it. I like how he's committed to it, though. You're committed to being partially committed. We do have breaking moves. From Adam Schefter. Four-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook will sign for the playoffs with the Baltimore Ravens.
PFT called it. He broke it.
Not to brag, but I called it.
Yep.
I actually had it first.
Yeah, that's actually a good signing.
Please credit PFT.
Just have a guy there just in case. So, but you also had it wrong because he did actually prove us wrong and signed with a contender.
But it's just weird how they keep talking about like Dalvin Cook.
Ended up being true.
That is the correct place for him.
He signed with the number one contender.
Yes, in case they continue to have catastrophic injuries.
Yes. Okay. Hank.
But yeah, I'm excited to go full steam ahead. Tis the season.
Till summer.
Pretty much dry January.
Till summer. I did commit to dry January, or I was 30 days until stand up. I'm trying to be dry until stand up.
Wait, when stand up?
February 6th.
Okay, so your dry January doesn't actually start until Monday.
But I committed to dry January. I tried to do dry January, and then on Tuesday, January 2nd, PFT nights, people went out to dinner. Some complimentary shots were brought over to the table, and I couldn't say no. And,
it already had gone.
And I had to do the
also the day
thing.
before Hank had drank beer.
I've had 2 beers.
That was for work though.
And 2 shots.
Yeah. So I was chronicling Hank's adventures into pretty much dry January. He's like, make sure to put that the shots we're taking are only because of manners, because everyone else at the table, except for Mency, who declined to take the shot, and Stu, who also declined.
So you could have easily just declined. 2 people at the table.
No, but it was because of manners.
Oh, but you could have. You saw Mincy and Stu, probably the 1 and 2 in terms of role models in America right now, say no, and you
manners.
Okay,
manners. Hank's got great manners.
He's got great manners.
I do have great manners, but I am for the next till stand up dry.
Okay.
No drinks at all.
No drinks at all. I don't like that look. I'm just not gonna go out. I can't go out. We've talked about it.
I want to do the laugh that you did to Big Cat the other day when he talked about. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
I'm silently laughing at.
Well, yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing. Not going out.
You want to party?
No.
What if I party?
I'm not going.
Why? I don't party. So what if I party? You won't come?
I'm committed.
Hank, do you want to go to the Sigs and Sidebar?
No. Absolutely not.
Have you gone yet?
No, I need to go.
It's awesome.
I love Sigs Inside.
Okay, PFT.
Yeah, mine is I just downloaded the AI celebrity voice impersonator, so that's what I'm going to be.
That might
doing
be our
this weekend.
Fyre Fest.
That's it. I like it.
I like it too, actually, a lot. I like it.
It's so good.
It is good.
It does sound a lot like him.
You probably have some weird China spyware on your phone now.
I already.
Who cares?
I mean, I do have TikTok.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just looking through the list of people that I can impersonate. There's Miley Cyrus one on there that might be more for off-air use.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Touch yourself, PFT.
I will not be saying that. I did actually have to delete one that I made with Miley Cyrus earlier, but that's unrelated. But yeah, so that's my weekend. Probably my next week is just fucking around with a celebrity voice impersonator. So yeah, it'll be productive.
I like that. All right, my Fyre Fest. I'm now on the other side because obviously we all were kids at one point, and being out of school was awesome. I'm on the other side. My kids have to go back to school. It's fucking crazy. My son has not been in school since December 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going back. Chicago Public Schools, they don't go back till Monday. Every day he wakes up and he says, what day is it?
Yeah.
Do I go to school today? I was like, no. It's just, how can they do this?
I don't know. And
Get him back to school.
And they're taking away snow days too.
Get him back to school.
They're making him do
He's so confused. Every day he's just like, why am I not going to school? It's like, it's just, you're not yet. He's like, oh, then do I do today? He's like, why am I not going to school? I was like, because you don't have school today. He's like, so do I get donuts? I was like, no, it's not Saturday.
You might just think that he doesn't have school anymore.
It's just mass confusion, and the kids need to be back in school. You got to get them in school. They got to be in school. It's funny though to see the opposite. Like, I'm sure all of our parents probably agreed. Like, kids got to be in school. You can't have them out of school.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst. They got to be back in school. They just lose their mind every single day. Get them in school. That's I'll run on that platform. School every day, no matter what. Yeah,
That's
Hank.
terrible.
Yeah, but wait till you have a kid, Hank, and you'll be like, school's the best. Jake.
Yeah, so I was flying during the first half of the Rose Bowl, and the satellite on the plane was broken.
Damn. Actually, it wasn't that good of a first half.
Yeah, but just like scrambling.
That's
Just
such
scrolling.
bullshit. They should give you a refund. What's the airline? I'll tweet it.
No,
There's just no way. I waste so much money. I waste so much money on like Wi-Fi that I purchase that doesn't work. And
Yeah.
then, half the time on a plane, you'll download the Wi-Fi thing or you'll pay for it, and then you'll just try to refresh the internet over and over again for about 40 minutes, and then you land. And that's what you pay for.
So it was a lot of scrolling Twitter. I bought the Wi-Fi and was able to stream it on YouTube TV for a little bit, but it still wasn't that reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That actually, that's a real Fyre Fest.
But it was the first half only, so I didn't miss much, like you said.
Yeah, but that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal. Okay. Max, you got a Fyre Fest?
I've had a great week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just delightful.
Starting on the week starts on Sunday?
Yep, really nice.
All right. I got to roll over here. Check out our new carpet. Numbers.
40.
18.
71.
8.
3.
99 pug. 20.
And Shane usually guesses 10? 10 for Shane. No, he's got to guess. He's got to be here to guess it. 58. 58.
We're due for a winner soon.
I don't know.
No.
If we learned anything from Jersey Jerry,
We had 2 out of the gate.
It takes a while. Things take time.
2 asterisks.
Well, Max cried
Well,
like
3.
a
Yeah,
bitch.
3. You're right. But
Max
I'm not
cried
allowed
like
to
a fucking
congratulate Big Guy
bitch.
anymore. We tried saying you're in.
No,
You won't take it.
I took it away because Max
Yeah.
cried like a
So
bitch.
too.
Yeah, no.
Remember,
there's
I don't
only
want to
two.
do that speech again.
Yeah, no, we don't have to
We
do
got to
that.
make America not Max again.
There's only 2 winners in this.
Make America
in this.
not Max
There are
again.
2 winners here.
Fucking crybaby loser. You
2
cried about
winners.
the fucking turf in the Super
2
Bowl.
winners.
He keeps talking about
You cried
that.
about the
No,
turf
you
in the
did.
Super Bowl.
No,
cried
you
it.
did.
You cried about the turf in the Super Bowl.
Love you guys.